Flight Sports TV, man. That's my dude. I rolls with him.
You heard what the man said. It's Flight Sports TV.
Flight Sports TV, that's where it's at.
Flight Sports TV.
What's going on, people? It's Flight Sports TV. I appreciate y'all for checking with me. You already know we back with another one. We got a little preview this evening. You know, we've been surveying the landscape of so much, sports, but fireworks is emerging. I'm telling you right now, it's going to go down. The Heisman Award could be decided. Yes, this game could be big, in the forefront later on down the line. And I don't want nobody to miss that or let it go over your heads. Shedeur Sanders, one of the most electrifying quarterbacks in the country. Caleb Williams. I mean, this dude is out here doing things in Madden, on the field. This is what's happening. There's a lot going on out here at the end of the day. But the Colorado Buffaloes is poised to lose if you are looking at the numbers, Vegas, and things like that. But I'm telling you now, do not count out Coach Prime Deion Sanders. He will do massive, incredible things. So make sure you stay tuned. It's going to be electrifying. So set your alarm clocks because this game is at the crack of dawn, depending on where you at on the coast. It's 12 o'clock East Coast time. I feel sorry for my people out west. You already know. I got my man Murgod in the building. What's good?
What's good with your flight? Shout out to. What's good with you? What's good with your flight? Shout out to the Flight Sports TV, man. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm good. I mean, it's a big time game coming up. Two electrifying QBs.
Oh yeah, man.
What do you expect? I mean, Colorado, I believe it is a 21-point underdog again, if I'm not mistaken. I'm a double check, but they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, okay.
They're a point and a half. They're a 21.5. They're a point and a half more than Oregon.
Yeah, okay. See, I wasn't far off. So what the hell? What's going on, man? What can the people expect from this game? In your opinion, what are the Colorado Buffaloes' chances? Is no Travis is still devastating. What the hell is going on, my guy?
I mean, I think the Buffaloes got a chance, man. I think they're going to be at home. Now it's going to be an uphill battle for them, but they got a chance, man. They gotta be able to. For one, they got to be able to contain Caleb Williams. They also have to be able to slow down the run game. Personally, I think they should switch things up. Start Bishop and McNeil, who is their two biggest D linemen. Bishop like 6'3", 305, McNeil like 6'4", 300. So I think we need to play them a lot more. Instead of Cokes and Cokes and Payne. I don't think they're very athletic, as agile as both of them to be able to make plays and get penetration, make plays in the backfield. Their edges have to do their job in containment as well as when it's pass down situations, being able to get after the quarterback. The secondary is a little banged up, especially with Shiloh out. So hopefully, they get some things going with that. But also too as well, offensively, man, they gotta get out to a faster start. They have to get out to a faster start be able to hit USC in the mouth. I think personally they need to switch up some of the linemen, especially basically the two guard spots. I think the tackles with Jared Christian as well as with Savion Washington, they could be able to keep those two as well as with Van Wells at center. But I think the two guard positions they need to switch up. They need to switch up the two
Was it?
guard positions
Did you
and
mean
put somebody else
Wilkerson?
there.
Did you mean Wilkerson?
And Wilkerson's a running back,
Okay,
so I
my
didn't get
bad.
to the running.
Williams. God,
Yeah,
my
I didn't
bad.
get to. I was talking about Savion Washington. He's
Okay,
he's the
my
right
bad.
tackle. He's the 6'8", 6'9" right tackle. But also too as well, they do need to get into the run game. Personally, I think they need to use Dylan Edwards as more as a changeup and start using Wilkerson and especially Alton McCaskill in the run game to be able to switch things up, change things up, to be able to get 5 to 6 yards of carry a pop to be able to keep them honest. They don't have to be incredible in the run game. If they can, that's a benefit. That's a bonus. But they have to be able to keep the defensive line for USC honest so that you can keep Bear Alexander off of you. Now, the USC defense, their secondary has not looked great, as well as basically the defense has given up points. They allowed San Jose to put up points. They almost lost to Arizona State. So there's opportunity to win this game. The team is not they're very much so are beatable. They proved that the other game with Arizona State. So hopefully they can be able to pull off the upset.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if they could do that. I know Vegas does. Like I said, Vegas does not believe it, but we will stay tuned. Make sure you set your alarm clocks. Like I said, this is gonna be a hell of a game. All eyes will be descended. We're gonna figure out who will prevail. I got my man All Access in the building. Dex, talk to the people. We live.
Yes, sir. Shout out to Flight Sports TV, the machine, the voice of the voiceless, the people's champ, the hottest in these streets. Shout out to the panel as it reaches its premium peak. Shout out to the chat and all of its cacophony. And most definitely big ups to everybody pulling up the Flight Sports block. Um, yeah, Flight, this is gonna be a doozy. Um, Colorado was definitely more formidable this weekend than they were last weekend, just solely based on the fact that they had an additional week to practice and make adjustments without Travis Hunter being a part of the team. And the shock of the absence and aftermath of that tremendous illegal hit on Travis Hunter, I think the team is more calm and poised to participate in this matchup against USC at home in their comfortable silo than they were on the road in the hostile environment of Eugene, Oregon.
Man, it's tough to win. A lot of people don't realize, man. I mean, Oregon is beatable, but man, it's tough to win in Eugene, Oregon, man.
Yeah.
It's tough to win there, man. That stadium get the rolling, man. It's tough to win there. There's not too many teams can beat Oregon there.
No, that's facts. What about USC coming to Colorado? Does that change anything?
Yeah, I mean, you got the USC crowd. They're going to be into it. Everybody going to be there. They're going to, see you going to be feeling that energy. So I expect see you to come out, man, and play hard, man.
Yeah, me too. I know one thing
But
for sure.
they,
They go
but
out
but the
like they
big
did
thing,
before.
but the biggest thing is, man, they have to come out and hit USC in the mouth. You have to set the tone and hit them in the mouth first. You hit them in the mouth first. You gotta put pressure on them. Put pressure on them to score. Put pressure on that defense. You do that, you got an opportunity to win, to catch them making mistakes because now they feel it to where they have to make pressures. You have to make plays, and they might get too uptight trying to do that, and they might cause them to make a mistake. So you got to put pressure on them.
Right. What about protecting Shedeur Sanders? Because he did walk a little um, gingerly a few times. What's going
Well, the
on with
biggest
that?
like I said before, it's three things that they have to do with that offense. One, one basically they got to get the football out faster. You can't sit here and have these slow developing routes. You got to have some hot reads if you're going to have a slow developing route, like a crossing, like a basically like an over route or something like that. Or basically trying to hit somebody with a double move or I hit a nine route. You got to be able to have, an outlet or basically a hot read, or for Shedeur for him to see something, call a hot read. You got to be able to have that, especially with this O line not being the best. Two, basically, I think personally they need to change some things up on the O line. Like I spoke to you before, I feel like they got some big boys on that in that rotation that they could be able to use. That could be used like McCormick or the other boy Kareem. Those some big dudes are sitting there 6'5", 320. With Kareem and then McCormick basically 6'5", another 315, 320 dude. Maybe you could slide them in that guard spot to be able to add some more weight, and more strength on that interior D line to be able to give Shedeur more time up the middle. Because mainly a lot of times it's up the middle pressure opposed to it being on the outside. Also, thirdly, Shedeur does need to get the ball out faster himself by not holding the football too long. Because there's sometimes that he does hold the football too long. So he needs to be able to be very precise, which I know he shall do, and be able to get the football out faster, which I know they definitely worked on. So that's what I'm looking for them to be able to do. They do that right there, as well as run the football. I think they got a definite chance to win this game.
Nah, good call. Big time call. Shout out Slim Can Hoop. Since Colorado was only projected to win only 3 games, we knew that. This is definitely crazy in Pac-12 play. How good is this kid, Caleb Williams?
I mean, he's how good. He's a potential number one overall pick. That good. You don't get there for no reason. He's in this year. If he comes out this year, man, if he comes out this year, he comes out next year. He's the number one overall pick. It don't matter. He's that good. Caleb Williams is that good, man. He's number one overall pick. But I
What,
don't
what,
mean, but I don't mean he not beatable though.
what do you think about him being compared to dudes like Patrick Mahomes?
Slow your roll. I don't think he's there yet. I think a lot of times we get basically I guess we're gonna say too out of hand with the comparisons. I mean, especially when they haven't played a down in the NFL. I mean, I could see some with the creativity, but I mean, I think we need to slow your roll on the comparing it to Patrick Mahomes, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't think we'll ever see anything like Patrick Mahomes ever again.
Patrick Mahomes is definitely the truth. Yeah, but this dude looked
Patrick,
all right, though. I was watching some of his games.
yeah, he's good. He's
Yes, he
really good.
can.
Caleb Williams is good. Caleb Williams is very good. He's a very talented quarterback. But what I mean, man. But I just think basically a lot of people get out of hand with the comparisons compared to Patrick Mahomes. So. But hey, I mean, if some people think that, some people think that. But I think he's gonna be the number one overall pick. So I think he's gonna be, I think he's gonna be all right in the NFL. But it's gonna depend on if he wants to come out this year because if let's say a bad organization, his father came out and actually said that he doesn't want him playing for an organization like the Arizona Cardinals. So basically, they're going to try to. So he might stay another year and wait it out and see what's going to happen.
Right.
I mean, and he can do that too because it's not like the NFL is going anywhere. And because of NIL, a lot of players can stay an extra year to develop.
Yeah, Sky said Colorado about to get shit whipped out of them. I mean, he said that about TCU, so I think I like when Sky comes in talking crazy.
I mean, Sky
I would,
can, man. I mean,
yeah,
Sky
it's
can,
be
man.
good.
I
It's in
mean,
Colorado. I think that should be to their advantage. If it was in USC, I think I don't know. Like I said, you seen what happened in Oregon. They just got to keep doing what they got to do. That's all.
yeah, man. I mean that kind of stuff happens, man. You know, it came out flat. They didn't get the ball rolling. Ball rolling. Defense got tired, and it is what it is. Stuff happens, man. Move on. Now you look at USC. You look at the opportunity there, especially with how USC played against Arizona State. Arizona State don't have the talent that Colorado has, especially on the outside. Now they're a little bit more stout in the interior. I'll give them that. But as far as the skill position, Colorado got better skill. I think Colorado got better skill positions than the Arizona State.
So, what's your thoughts on the Shiloh? His situation.
I mean, hopefully he's healthy enough to play. But
Yeah,
if he's down, he's going to be a big blow because they need him on that back end. I mean,
yeah.
they probably use Rod Ward, who was a two-time All Conference player at Utah State when he played his last 2 years. So he might be able to use Rod Ward, but we'll see, man. Hopefully he's healthy enough to play.
Yeah, that's facts. I hope so. What do you think about this guy Sky saying Colorado not gonna win no more games?
Man, I don't pay attention to that dude, man. Yeah, I don't pay attention to
Look at the
that dude,
schedule.
man. I mean, people said Colorado was going to lose the first 3 games. You feel me? Like, I don't pay attention to what Scott got to say, man.
We got Arizona State after this one. Stanford, UCLA, Oregon State, Arizona, Washington State, and Utah.
Utah
That's a
getting the
last
wheels,
year.
and Utah get. I'm watching the Utah game. Utah getting the wheels beat off on them right now. They ranked number 10 in the nation.
Yeah. So are they gonna
You
fall
see,
after
you
this
see,
loss?
they're gonna fall after this loss. They're
Okay.
gonna fall. They're gonna fall probably down in the teens. Matter of fact, they might
Okay.
fall a little further. They might fall a little further because it's looking like they about to get skunked. It's 14-0 right now.
Oh no. What channel that's
So
on?
that's on FS. That's on
Yeah,
FS1.
you streaming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it's 0 to 14, third quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Shoot. Utah getting the wheels beat off on them right now. Shoot,
Mm.
they got Utah got DJ Dookie, the quarterback from Oregon State, looking like a quarterback. Ridiculous, man.
Yeah. Oregon State is 3-1. Looking to
Mm-hmm.
go
Yeah, because they
4-1.
lost. Yeah, they lost last weekend.
Yeah. There's still a lot of time left.
It is. There's a lot of time left, but hey, we'll see, man. But right now, basically, or Utah looking crappy. He probably is about to take this L, especially since they don't have their starting quarterback, Cam Rising. Cam Rising's still out with an ACL injury, which I told people. People were talking about, oh man, Utah, we're gonna win a ring this year. I said, not so fast. If Cam Rising does not play this year, y'all could probably win a few games, but eventually it's gonna come down to you're gonna need your quarterback. If you don't got a quarterback that can get you out of tight games like this, you're gonna lose because they don't have the quarterback that can get them out of this situation. That can make the throws.
Yep. Salute to Jessica. Shout out Sky. Shout out Gemini. Salute to everybody in the chat. I know everybody's excited for this big time game coming up. Got the Colorado Buffaloes looking to do some big things. What'd you say?
Wow. Now I was looking at a game. Old dude just got a pass interference from Oregon State. Pass interference with a wide receiver.
Well, after the loss, basically that they suffered against Oregon, where do you see Colorado in the mix of all of these teams?
As far as basically in the pack, as far as in the Pac-12.
Yeah,
I see them. I see them basically still in the middle of the pack. Probably, I could see them getting. To me, I see them getting at least 8, at the most. To me, 8 wins this year. I think they can do that. I think they could be middle of the pack this year. Go to the Big 12 next year and run the table because the Big 12 gonna be wide open.
so asking what record he think. Yeah, you just said that. So
Yeah, 8-4. My prediction is at their peak. I think they can get about 8-4.
yeah, I think that's spectacular. First year.
Yeah, first year that'd be great, man. Especially getting to a bowl game. I think that'd be dope. Because I got them going. I definitely got them going to a bowl game this year. The thing is, like, you don't realize is that they already, even if they don't win another game the rest of the year, they already succeeded by winning basically 3 games. They won one last year. So the simple fact that they won 3 games, man, they already succeeded or surpassed last year and beat the ranked opponent because I think TCU is ranked again.
Let me look that up.
Shoot, I thought TCU might be ranked again. Shoot, TCU been winning. They won 3 games straight.
So yeah, you're right. They're 3-1. I don't see them ranked yet though.
They're not ranked. Oh, I thought they was ranked. I could have sworn. I could have sworn somebody had them ranked on one of their polls. So it might have been one of the coaches' poll, or oh Lord, that boy done threw an interception. Told you that quarterback makes a difference, man. You talk about the losers game because Oregon gonna probably go down, go score again because they got momentum, and that defense probably tired, and it's gonna be a wrap after that.
Yeah, shout out Quiz, New York City.
What's good with you, brother Flight?
Queens get the money.
You've been working
What's
hard
good?
over there. You've been working hard over there, Flight.
Nah, I'm bullshit, man. I ain't even get started yet, man. I'm chilling. Why you say that?
You sound a little bit tired, bro. You don't sound like the regular Flight over there.
Nah, you said that I was working hard.
Yeah, well, you're definitely working hard. I mean, come on, you a dude putting out 3, 4, 5
Dang, that
videos
was a
a
good
day.
pick.
Well,
These dudes don't respect the effort.
I don't know. It is what it is. It's not about the people. It's not about the people. It's about me. At the end of the day, But I mean, just shout out to y'all. Especially about putting out.
Yeah, you're doing your job, bro. I mean, you put out 3, 4, 5 videos a day. You know what I mean? So, you got to respect that. How do you feel about
right now? I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm kind of sick right now. So I got a fucking cold.
Oh, all right. Well, that's probably what it is. But I wanted to ask you, the Colorado thing, they got a lot of hype with them. You know what I mean? I like the energy that Deion Sanders bring, but that's going to bring a target on your back from the rest of the teams you playing out there in college, of course. And last week, that whipping that they took to Oregon was a serious whipping right there. You know what I mean? So, how do you feel? How do you feel about Colorado moving forward for the rest of the season? They've had some dominant performances, or they've had some really great performances, but that whipping that they took last week was a reality check, kind of. Do you feel as though this team may be a little bit overhyped? Do you think that they'll bounce back? I think this week they're playing against a team that they've never. This week they're playing against a team that they've never beat.
You got to realize too that this is a new regime that they're also playing against as well. Even Jerry Rice's son said that this is not the same Colorado team that he played for, because Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, played for Colorado, and he noticed the changes in the regime as well as the changes in the coaching staff. So this is not the same regime they're going to be playing against, as well as basically, I think they're going to make their proper adjustments. and make this an actual game to where they're going to compete and try to win this game. Of course, yes, they got blown out by Oregon. It's unfortunate, that I think that basically, they came out flat. Oregon just had their number that day, and it just wasn't Colorado's day. Nothing go right, whether it was penalties, because they led the game with penalties. They couldn't basically block a cold. Basically, Sean Lewis couldn't get it going with his offensive scheme or anything. And the defense basically, got tired and they were missing tackles. So it just wasn't their day that day. So hopefully they're back at home. They're in a basic environment they feel comfortable in. They're going to be able to go out there, play free, just go out there and do their thing. And I think that, they need to make the proper adjustments to be able to do that. Personally, on the D-line, I would like to see Taj, Bishop, McNeil, and also JD Dominic. I would like to see him on the line, put Ham, and then put Mitchell. They were missing Ham. He was injured, so they get him back right there. Now, the big key is the fact that Shiloh's going to be out, so hopefully Shiloh is healthy enough to play. But if he's not, basically, probably have to slide Ward there to be able to cover up that free safety position or, strong box safety position that Shiloh plays. So and I think Slusher comes back. So hopefully Slusher comes back. We can be able to play him at that star position to be able to give a lot of flexibility there. So hopefully they be able to do that, and they make some changes on the old line to be able to give them some more protection. Shedeur more protection, be able to do things. Plus also as well, Shedeur got to get the ball out. You can't not hold the football, man. I mean, and that's with any offensive line. You hold the football long enough, somebody going to leak through, man. So you got to get the football out.
He can't just throw the ball just because he don't want to hold the ball. Shedeur feels that he's athletic enough to extend the play, which we have all seen him do. That's not
my argument. I agree with you on that. But in some situations last game, he could have basically probably scrambled. He could have maybe thrown the ball away. I understand that sometimes he does eat a sack. Sometimes that's necessary. But a lot of times, basically, he does need to figure out a way to possibly get the ball out or throw it away if he can, so that he can survive a down. He doesn't lose track of down and distance. That way it doesn't put them in an uncompromised position, because that's what happened last game. They were in third and long a lot, which is very hard to give play calls against third and long.
You have to execute on first and second. On first and second down, you have to execute.
Well, that's on Shedeur and Sean Lewis. So a lot of it I don't put on Shedeur. I put it more on Sean Lewis, the offensive coordinator, because his game plan that game was terrible. He didn't do Shedeur no favors, and he didn't do the offensive line no favors, as well as he didn't basically run the football like he was supposed to, especially when you got Alton McCaskill. I don't know what's going on with him. Hopefully he's healthy enough to play.
Well, all I can say is that that defense have gaping problems, and those wounds on that defense, you can't just patch up with a Band-Aid. That defense just needs better players. And the defensive line is so anemic and emaciated. What can you do if you don't have the players? You follow what I'm saying? You only can do so much with the players that you got.
Hold on a second, but they had those same players in those first two to three games where they was pulling off these, Shedeur had like a 500-yard passing game. So they
hold on,
Quiz. This last game they barely put up 6 points.
Quiz. You're kicking the can down the road. We're talking defense. We ain't talking about the stardom of the offense and the explosiveness of the offense. We're talking about that problem on defense that's always been there. They got away with it one game this year, and that was against Nebraska, who had a quarterback that was a one-trick pony. And once Nebraska got down in that game, they didn't have the type of aptitude to get back in the game because of the quarterback, Jeff Sims. He's only good with his legs and is horrible with his arm. So that game right there was not really a telltale sign of the powers of Colorado defense. The defense is very anemic. and is very emaciated. They're malnourished in the trenches, and that's where it counts. And all the teams, even TCU, dashed them. Even Nebraska, to some degree, on rushing, dashed them. And most definitely, they got dashed by Colorado State and Oregon. Even though they escaped Colorado State with the heroic effort, Herculean, if I may say so myself, by Shedeur Sanders in scoring that 98-yard touchdown with under 2 minutes to play in that game, and capped it off with a 2-point conversion to send it to overtime. You're not going to have that kind of theatrics game in and game out, especially when you are suffering on the defensive end. You don't even have your best player on defense, which is Travis Hunter. He's out. So they have to make a big adjustment to play without Travis Hunter against the behemoth of the Pac-12, which is USC. And it's going to be very, very difficult and a tall task to overcome, if I may say so myself.
So the moral of the story of what you're saying is that Colorado's defense is complete trash anyway.
Yes, they're just trash.
All right, thank you. Just summarize it. And also, I want to make sure that you remember that I don't watch college football, so you know what I mean.
I don't have to remember it. I know it. Right. It ain't nothing to remember. I mean, if you watch it, you can see for yourself. You don't even have to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You don't even have to. Listen to what Deion say himself about his own team, the players he picked. So you don't have to be skeptical of what I'm saying. Just observe it for yourself. I'm
not skeptical of what you're saying. I'm just, my thing was I thought that that they played good in the first couple of weeks. They got a lot of hype behind them. Of course, they're going to have target on their back from other teams playing.
Look at the score.
These other teams out here got players like them.
Quiz. Right. Well, let me say this real quick. If you look at the score in each of those games, except the Nebraska game, those teams have averaged against that defense the same that they averaged against that defense of last season, even though it's different players. Keep that in mind. And that was the worst defense in Division I football last season. So now here we're coming up against the USC Trojans led by Lincoln Riley and Caleb Williams at the helm, right? Heisman front runner to repeat as a Heisman winner, and USC coming in undefeated, and while outgaining their opponents by 204 yards. We know they had a cupcake schedule, but still 204 yards. That means they played 2 extra football games in one game against their opponents. And then they average play, they surpassing their opponents by 4 yards per play. So that's a lot. And that's something that Colorado has to deal with.
But also, Dex, you have to throw in the kryptonite out of USC, where their defense has not been stellar at all on USC either.
No team that Colorado played, God, had a stellar defense. Not one team.
Oregon was decent.
Oregon don't have a stellar defense. What happened with Oregon, the reason why it looks that way, no, they don't have a stellar defense. No, they don't. What happened with Oregon, they was getting the ball on the short field because Colorado couldn't really move the ball, not because of defense, because of the offensive line. The offensive line was like shredded cheese. They didn't block nobody. They were getting pancaked. And that didn't have really much to do with the defense per se. It had everything to do with the lack of heart and intensity that offensive line brought to the game. And that's why Shedeur Sanders had to scramble and run for his life practically every play. He was never comfortable in that game against Oregon. So I really give it to the defensive coordinator who schemed up the type of plays he did that made Colorado offense very uncomfortable. And I think Lincoln Riley is probably going to come and do the same thing, because the USC Trojans lead the nation in scoring, 55 points per game, and they lead the nation by game per play, which is 9.2. So that's a whole lot the Colorado Buffaloes gonna have to deal with and gonna have to swallow pause in this game up in Boulder. But I do believe they will have a better output than they did against Oregon for sure.
Yeah, I mean, me personally, I think the Oregon defense, from what I see, is ranked 11 in the nation, especially with yards per play. So they got the athletes on the defense. Me personally, I think Oregon got better athletes on defense than USC does, as well as basically USC was in a dogfight with Arizona State, and Arizona State don't even got the athletes that Colorado got on offense. So I think
But
it's going to
Oregon
be
was
a
in
better.
a dogfight with Texas Tech.
Yeah, but also I don't think that Colorado can. I mean, like you say, you think that they'll do better than they did last week. They can't do much worse than that. Did they even score a touchdown last week?
They did.
Yeah.
It was like what? It was like 44-6 or something, right?
Yeah, but that last touchdown, man. I mean, I think Oregon was starting to rotate in their second string, man. So,
It was irrelevant.
I mean,
Pity points,
yeah,
huh?
this basically, yeah.
Well, they can't do much worse than that this week. So, good luck to you. Dex, you sound like you're breaking up.
You're breaking up. Definitely making some good calls. But yeah, Quiz, you don't got to be a big time college football fan. You just stay on top of what Deion doing.
You know, I'm a big fan of Deion. Deion's one of the greatest ever. You know what I mean? And I like the hype around him. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna turn on and all of a sudden start watching college football. Shoot, I don't watch much football at all. I do know my Dolphins is over here getting busy though. You know what I mean? Without watching football, I don't even watch it to know. You know,
The Dolphins.
No, you need to talk about that, Quiz. I don't know if y'all can hear me, but if you can hear me, you need to talk about that because Tua was looking like the best quarterback in the league right now. He's making Patrick Mahomes an afterthought.
It is what it is, man. It is what it is. Anytime you put up 70 points in the NFL, you know what I mean? When you put up 70 points, I mean that says a lot.
That's a story. That's a story. That's a story.
Listen, man.
That's real.
I give all thanks to that. I give all thanks to that head coach and Tyreek Hill because they got two out there looking like a golden boy out there right now, man.
I
mean, you know, having Tyreek Hill definitely.
Man, it's just but it's just not Tyreek Hill. It's that head coach. His play calling and how he designed plays is ridiculous. And how he's able to scheme and get Tyreek Hill open is crazy. And he does it both with Hill and Waddle at the same time. And be able to scheme and get them both open. It's crazy.
Well, I'm very proud of what's going on over here, and I'm also you know, getting back on topic. I mean, I'm very proud to see what Deion Sanders is doing with him and his son, his sons and his organization. You know what I mean? And I love the energy that he's bringing to college football overall. But those boys better be ready because you know these other teams that they're playing in college. You know, I mean, they got those dates marked on their calendar. Don't you guys feel that way?
Say that again about what?
I said that the energy that Deion Sanders is bringing, all of the hype, all of the media attention you're getting, these other teams that they play for the rest of the season, they are always going to have that target on that's marked on the calendar. And if their defense is porous, you know what I mean? You know what they say, if you got a lollipop, you got to lick it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Man, they got figures.
Well, see, the thing of it is this. Let me share this with you real quick. The first season is a wash, right? But what he have done this season was just spectacular, especially in the media aspect of it all. The attention gathering. That right there was super spectacular for Deion and his character and his caricature as far as the Colorado Buffalo coach. So Coach Prime, so that's his caricature. Coach Prime, right? He have done so much for the program, just his presence and his one-liners and his anthem, his mantra, all the good stuff. He brought the attention to Colorado. So this season is a wash. Even though this season is a wash, because nobody expect Colorado to beat Georgia. Nobody expect Colorado to beat Michigan. Nobody expect Colorado to beat Texas or Florida State or USC for that matter. But they didn't expect Colorado to be this exciting and this attention galvanizing where they have usurped all of the celebrity from Dalbo Sweeney, Jim Harbaugh, Nick Saban, and Kirby Smart, and to some degree Lincoln Riley, right? And Lincoln Riley is nestled in Hollywood. Ain't nobody talking Lincoln Riley. They talking Coach Prime, Deion Sanders. So that right there, Deion Sanders, he's basically setting himself up for next season and seasons into the future because there won't be no Bo Nix. There won't be no Caleb Williams. There won't be no Michael Penix Jr. You follow what I'm saying? Mike Penix Jr. There won't be these quarterbacks. There won't be no Drake May. So a lot of these guys are going to be gone. It's going to be a new crop. And Shedeur Sanders and the Colorado Buffalo will have a heads up because they are already recruiting and gathering 5-star recruits as we speak, even though the season is full engaged. So that's when everybody better watch out for Colorado next season, the season after that, when a lot of these players that are good now as far as quarterbacks, especially in the Pac-12, QB University, they're going to be gone and out. And Shedeur will be the last remaining iconic quarterback front runner for the Heisman Trophy moving forward. And some of those wide receivers going to be there too. And he's bringing in his new crop, and he's bringing in the guys that he really, really want, not guys that gets available.
Oh, yeah, he gonna get that. He gonna get that line fixed for sure.
Guys, I have a question for the panel.
Oh, what's that?
So we're talking about the success that Coach Prime has had, and I mean Shedeur Sanders has had. One of the games that he had was ridiculous. He had over a 500 yard passing game, which is sensational by any measures. Do you guys feel that Shedeur is going to bounce back in this? Because that's outstanding. So do you think that he's going to bounce back in this game and moving forward? Or, I mean, last week was a trouncing. Like, let's be serious. But I'm wondering if you guys feel as though he's going to be able to bounce back.
Yeah, most definitely.
I hope so.
I think he have his moments.
I think he definitely will.
It's going to be hard for Colorado to win this game. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be very difficult for them to win this game. But by them being at home in their comfortable environment inside their own silo, where that black and gold is going to go nuts. But USC, they're familiar with these type of games. You know, this is nothing strange to them. You know, this environment is not strange to them. Hell, they play Notre Dame every year. You feel me? You can't get no more crazy than that. The Golden Dome, you know, touchdown Jesus. So USC is not going to be rattled. Coach Riley, you know, he played Texas, the Red River Shootout. He played them every year when he was coaching at Oklahoma. So those are hundred and some thousand fans screaming for or against you. So he's not unfamiliar with, you know, semi-hostile environment. And I don't think CU has got that crazy where teams will be afraid to play up in Boulder.
Nah, you're right. Plus, I think the difference maker is if Cameron shows up on the sideline. Now, if Cam shows up on the sideline, you know what I mean? If Cam shows up on the sideline.
Right? Harlem World. Yeah. But I just think that, you know, I'm going to predict the score. I say the score will be 37-24 USC. Colorado gets them in the spread.
Well, I wish Colorado much continued success. I love seeing my man Deion Sanders over there on the sideline. I love the way my man Shedeur has handled the media so far. I like seeing his kids together. I love to see the way they interact. And, you know, I wish them much success regardless of how far they go or don't go. You know, I'm glad that they got all of this attention, and I see this as maybe being something that could possibly be transformative for college football.
I agree. I agree with that. I concur.
I mean, college football is exciting just innately because you have the local markets that are absolutely behind the teams, regardless. Like I'm right here on UF campus. Like there's nothing like the energy that a college team actually brings, you know what I mean, on a weekly basis to areas because, you have a whole community that's invested in these guys. It's not just, it's not like the professionals, but you have the whole community that's, rallied around some of these teams. Colleges are actually the staple of a lot of these economies. Dex is an intelligent dude. You know what I'm talking about. So, and then, when you talk about your alumni and stuff like that, colleges really move people. There are people who are really tied into these colleges. And with the energy that Deion Sanders is bringing to an already energized sport, you know what I mean? I just think it's probably the best thing that's happened to college football.
Yeah, it's nice, and it was a surprise. Also, you said you had UF, you in Gainesville?
Yes, sir. I'm right on UF campus.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
sir.
what's up.
Tim
That's
Tebow
what's
got
up.
statues down here. You already know.
You already know I was getting ready to go there because when Tebow was there, it was electrifying. Because I was going down to Gainesville back with Tebow, you know what I'm saying, was a star athlete. And I used to argue with those guys, Pac-10, it was Pac-10 then. Pac-10 and SEC, who have the better athletes, who's better. We used to go back and forth with those dudes down there in Florida. And that's all they talked about. What was that quarterback that won the national championship and he kind of split time with Tebow a little bit? The brother, he got in trouble. Remember he got in trouble
Well, you
down in
got to speak to
Gainesville?
Murgot about that because I'm not really, I don't really follow
Oh,
college
okay.
football. Like I'm not a
Yeah,
diehard college
I
football
was trying to
fan.
think of his name the other day because I brought him up to somebody and we couldn't think of his name. But he was a good quarterback though. And Tim Tebow couldn't take his starting job. The best that Tim Tebow could do under the auspice of Coach Urban Meyer was to split time with this brother. But then again, he got in trouble, and it killed him from going into the NFL. He down there with the snow bunnies,
Yeah.
touching on him and stuff. So it didn't work out right for him.
Well, unfortunately, there's a lot of stories like that in college. That's why typically I was always a pro fan because, you hear about these dudes, but, you got to do it in the pros for me, because, it always looks great when you're in college. But when you get to the pros, it's a whole different game. Plus, there's things you could do in a college game that don't really translate as well to the pros. But I mean, Tim Tebow is undeniable for what he did in college. I mean, didn't that dude almost win 3 Heisman trophies? I know he got like 2 of them, but I think he almost
No,
got
he
a
didn't.
third
He
one.
didn't. No, he didn't almost win 3 because that year that I'm talking about with the quarterback, he wasn't winning that Heisman. But I think he got back to back Heisman though, for
Yeah,
sure.
he got back-to-back Heisman's, but um, either way, I mean that's an incredible feat. Only thing is when he got to the pros, I automatically saw like he had this rabbit's foot with him that I just think was incredible. I seen him. The dude could not pass the ball. Like he was not a thrower. I've seen that guy conclude games where, I mean, if you've only thrown for 50 yards, by the half of an NFL game, I mean, that's not cutting it in the NFL. But his ability to scramble and make plays, he was a phenomenal playmaker though. And he did, was able to win some games in some miraculous fashion. So I don't know. He just was one of those dudes who just had that glow with him. You know what I mean? That people loved him, and then there were people who loved to hate him also. You know what I mean? But shout out to Tim Tebow. I'd like to see him come back in some capacity, at least as a broadcaster. We should be somewhere because Tebow had a good personality. He was actually pretty well spoken too. He was a decent dude.
Aaron Hernandez played with him.
Oh yeah, Aaron Hernandez was a good
The one who
quarterback
played for
too.
the Patriots. Yeah, he was on that. He was on that team, and the brothers that played with I think he played with Miami. What was those 2 brothers' names that played with Miami? I think they're Cuban. I
Uh,
think they're Cuban. Either Cuban or Puerto Rican, and they was good friends of Aaron Hernandez. But
well,
they're
it's a shame
offensive
what
linemen.
happened.
You know
It's
what
a
I'm talking
shame what
about?
happened. It's a
For
shame what happened to Aaron
Miami,
Hernandez.
you know those 2 that I'm talking about? They're real big, huge human beings, and they like twin brothers. Oh, you
No,
gotta
I don't know him offhand.
Bustamante. Oh, okay, dang. But yeah, they was some promos, and they was part of
But
that
isn't
team
it
as well.
crazy? You know, it's crazy since you bring it up. The direction between Tim Tebow, because you know he was this Christian faith based dude, you know what I mean, and then Aaron Hernandez, who had a completely different path. You know what I mean?
Ponce,
He
that's what
became
I think that's
something.
their name, Ponce or something like that.
Yeah,
Mike Ponce,
but I was
and
just saying that there's no greater contrast between
Yeah,
um
you
Steph.
talking about the Ponzi twins.
Oh, Ponce.
exactly
Yeah, the
Murdoch.
Ponzi twins. Yeah,
Yeah,
because one played for the Miami Dolphins, the other one played for the Steelers with Ben
there you go.
Roethlisberger.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I don't know. I wish that Tim Tebow could have brought Aaron Hernandez to church with him a few more times. Maybe would have saved his future.
Maybe, man, maybe. The world may never know.
Yeah, crazy. And
And
he's
the
gonna
trivia
be.
question also, Cam was on that
Yeah. Cam was on that
team.
team. He was still he
So
was
computers.
he was still in computers. He was still in computers.
Yeah,
Wow.
he was still computers. He got kicked out too. Cam Newton was on
Yeah,
that
he's
team, dude.
yeah, man. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he got had to lead the team, transfer to Auburn, and rest is history.
That's crazy. It's so crazy
Yeah,
how football players, man, they get into all kinds of crazy stuff. Football
yeah,
players.
man. He got into a situation with the computer. Had to lead the team with the Auburn and put up one of the best single seasons that you've seen from a quarterback in history, in NCAA history.
These dudes wasn't participating with Tebow in them prayer circles when he was in the end zone. I
I don't
mean,
know, man.
all these dudes,
Nope.
they should have been in that prayer circle. Aaron Hernandez, especially. He's still behind. He's still in prison. How long did Aaron Hernandez get?
Aaron
I know death
Hernandez
row
is
is
not.
everything.
Aaron Hernandez is not in prison no more, dog.
He got out.
No, he passed.
Oh, he passed away. Oh my goodness, I forgot. Wow, that's crazy. Thank you for reminding me. I be having issues because I've watched some of these things and it's crazy the way that the justice system works. You have dudes who do some of the most crazy things and get these times that don't fit, and you see people who did way more than they did. You see dudes who did something simple and end up getting life, and then you see dudes who did way more than they did, and they give them let's say they give them like 20 years or 25 years. They're only going to do about half of that anyway. You know what I mean? It's just crazy the way the justice system works. But sometimes justice has a way of sorting itself out. Aaron Hernandez definitely wasn't a good dude. The stuff that he did was crazy to do, to be honest
Mm-hmm.
with you, completely unnecessary, especially for a dude who's got a professional career. It's just wild how some of these dudes be having these careers, but then have these whole alter egos where they're like whole stone cold wannabe or full-fledged thugs at the same time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Goodness, boy, Oregon is just whooping on Utah. Excuse me, Oregon State. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I mean,
But yeah, but yeah, but yeah, but yeah. I agree with you, man. I agree with you.
Oregon trying to make statements out here to the world.
I mean, he made it personal.
Yeah, Oregon's out here
So
trying
it
to
is what it is. It
let
is what
people
it
know.
is, man. They had a number.
Oh, it's college football, man. This stuff happens. College is
Yeah. I mean, Utah. I mean, look at Utah. Utah ranked number 10. They getting they getting blown out by Oregon State. It's 21-0.
Murga, how do you feel about the college rating system?
Sometimes it's trash,
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with that.
and it goes based off instead of looking at not just strength of schedule or quality of teams, strength of schedule with the quality of teams and the conferences and everything. They just pick. They just got their favorite teams like a Georgia and just pick them every year when Georgia's not even the best team this year, to be honest. Well, there go DJ Dookie again throwing interceptions.
Sound like
They should have threw
Oregon.
that.
Oregon
Oregon
got what
State.
they needed last week. They off to the
Yeah.
races now.
I mean, I hope they better be because not this week, but the next week they got to deal with Washington. And to me, Washington is the best team in the Pac-12. At least I'm glad Colorado don't got to play them.
All right, what do you like about Washington?
Quarterback.
I like hearing about this stuff.
Quarterback. They got a top 5 quarterback in the nation, and Michael Penix Jr. He actually leads the NCAA in not just passing yards, but also touchdowns thrown. They got a great offensive line. They can run the football. They're very stout in the run game, and they got basically they got a defensive end that's going to be a first-round draft pick. Matter of fact, they got 2 of them, and they got a great defense. They actually probably got the best defense in the pack. They probably got the best defense in the Pac-12 right now. Or Washington ain't no joke this year.
I hear you there.
So Oregon gonna have a handful dealing with them. And they got a wide receiver that can go in the first round too.
Thank you, Newmark. Thank you, Chris Lee. That's the dude name. You remember that guy, Murdoch? Oh, he was so smooth at quarterback.
Who was that?
Chris Lee. He was almost similar to Shedeur Sanders, but he wasn't as much of a elusive runner like Shedeur. But that dude could do it all, but he just screwed up, man. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Chris Lee, that's his name. I remember we used to argue about this dude. Okay, thank you, Newmark. It's always, listen, that chat is crazy, right? They always come up with the facts. They have answers to trivia questions. They're quick with the fingers. Yes. But you know what Murdoch about Oregon State? Oregon State was favored this game. This game, I think, is played in Corvallis, right? It's played in Corvallis, Oregon.
Yeah.
And Oregon State was favored by 4 points. And when I looked at that on DraftKings, right, I was like, well, why is Oregon State favored by 4 points when Utah is ranked number 10? And then I found out about the quarterback.
Utah has a very talented team.
Oh, yeah, they're good.
Around them, they just don't got a quarterback right now.
No, listen, that quarterback, Cam Rising, was kicking Caleb Williams' ass all last season.
Oh, yeah, he was. He was.
That's the only team you think he can beat, right? Before the bowl game.
The same way Michael Penix Jr. about to beat the shit out of Oregon.
Yeah, that Penix, that's something else up there in Washington.
Boy, look, I was telling Quez, I said Washington ain't no joke this year. You know, people think Oregon's a problem. Washington the one that's a problem.
Well, they like Oregon because of Bo Nix. And, you know, Bo Nix is a 40-year-old version. Him and the quarterback over there in Notre Dame, they've been in college for like 6 years. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Like, really? Bo Nix have the record of starting the most games as a college quarterback in history.
Yep.
I'm talking about Matt Leinart don't even have this record. And it seems like Matt Leiner's at USC forever.
Forever, man. I agree.
And they won 30-some games in a row. And he still don't have that record. Oh, Bo Nix, man. That's something else. This guy ain't left college yet.
Yeah, man.
That's not a good sign, though. It's not a good sign.
No, because he's trying to raise his draft stock, but it ain't going no higher than what it already is. He's a 3rd-round pick, and he's going to stay that way.
That's what it looks like.
You know,
is Quiz still here?
Because he couldn't hack it at Auburn. How you couldn't hack it at Auburn, but then you gonna come to Oregon? Scouts look at that.
Oh, Chris Leaks didn't get in trouble. I thought Chris Leaks got in trouble. I thought he had an issue. You sure? You might need to look that one up. I think Chris Leaks had an issue with some high school girl or something. But anyway, go ahead, Murder.
Nah, I'm just watching this Oregon State Utah game. Oregon State is pouring it on Utah right now, man. It's bad. Yeah, Utah about to lose this game. I think Oregon State knocked out both their quarterbacks.
You said Oregon State did what?
Knocked out both their quarterbacks. The one quarterback before got knocked out because he got hit in the chest by a blitzing linebacker, and then his quarterback, the other quarterback, he basically rolled his ankle. He basically got tackled and rolled his ankle.
Oh. Oh no, we already talked about Cam Newton one-on-one. We talked about that already about him killing the computers. We talked about him already. No, I'm talking about Chris Leaks. Chris Leaks. He had an issue with an underage girl, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe because it didn't go national. Maybe because it wasn't a national thing. Because I used to frequent Florida. And you remember Chris Leaks fell off the map. As good as a quarterback he was. You know, he won a national championship and everything. And disappeared.
Yeah, he was he was basically with the sexual misconduct, but the charges were dropped.
Oh, they were dropped? Okay. Mm-hmm. See, I knew something happened with him. I remember that. Yeah. But could you imagine that Florida team, though? Chris Rainey and Tebow.
I remember Rainey. Tebow.
Percy Harvin. Oh, my God. That team was loaded, right?
Yeah.
That team was freaking loaded.
I think Tebow was.
Urban Meyer had him stacked team.
I think Tebow when he came out of high school, he was I think he was the number one player in his class when he came out.
They invented the jump pass, right?
Yeah.
Did he invent the jump pass or did he make it popular?
I mean, I think he probably invented it. I ain't never seen it before him. I mean, it's somebody. I mean, of course, it's somebody probably did it, but I don't think on purpose like he did.
Yeah, so that was a hell of a team, man. Because like I said, I used to argue with some of my Florida partners that was up in Lakeland, was in Ocala, and none of them was actually in Gainesville, but it was Ocala Wildwood, and we used to go back and forth about that Florida team as being one of the greatest teams ever. And I try to compare the USC team, of course, you know. And I think one of us was talking about the Tennessee team that went 12-0 under T. Martin. I don't know if y'all remember that team. That was a nice team as well.
Oh my God, that boy fast. Oh my God, Dex, I need you to watch this. See what that boy did from that Oregon State.
I can't. I'm driving. I can't watch it.
You say you driving?
Yeah,
bro, Dex. This man. So they try to catch Oregon State with a reverse. Dude got the ball, ran one way, cut it back, cut it the middle, cut all the way back, and got a first down. That was crazy. That boy fast.
He did a Marcus Allen, huh?
Literally.
You remember that play Marcus Allen did against the Redskins?
Yes, sir.
1983 Super Bowl.
Yes, sir. He cut it upfield and was gone.
Gone. That was crazy. And I was so happy because I can't stand those damn kids.
Mm-hmm. What you a Dallas fan, Dex?
Of course, you already know it. And anytime you hear that type of derogatory language, you know it's got to be a Cowboys fan.
Yeah, I knew it had to be, man. Hey, man, why the hell y'all lose to the Arizona Cardinals, man?
Man, Arizona fan games, man. They let Giants off the hook and then they want to come beat the Cowboys. They playing games.
Man, listen, man. Arizona said we come to play today.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They had the Giants down 28 points or something like that, right?
Uh-huh.
And Giants came back and won the damn game, scored like 35 points straight or something crazy. Big Danny Downs looked like he was all world. And then the next week he came back down to earth, which I knew. And then they're gonna go and beat the Cowboys. I said Vegas is something else, man. I said I'm glad I didn't bite. I didn't put no money on that game, but it was tempting.
Oh yeah.
I said Vegas is something else.
You would have lost some bread that game, man.
Everybody lost that day because I'm quite sure Cowboys was in multiple people's parlay. You know, whatever they chose, put the Cowboys with it. Arizona Cardinals are worst team in football.
Man, give me my money. And Vegas said, you know what? From us losing basically money the first 2 weeks to Colorado, we're going to make our money back for this game.
Make our money back in one game. Because they had the whole world sucker. Dallas favored by what? How much was favored? Like 11 or something like that? Double digits, I know that.
Yeah, it was.
They couldn't even win straight up.
It was double digits.
The Arizona Cardinals was with what's the quarterback name? Dobbs?
Mm-hmm. Man, he was a former quarterback for the Steelers, man.
Yeah, he's playing with the Steelers. Sure did. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dobbs is whooping.
I think he played for the Steelers. I forgot. I think he played for the Titans, and then he left the Titans and went to Arizona.
Yeah, he's a journeyman. And you would think Dak Prescott could beat that team by itself. I don't like Dak Prescott. I already knew there was something with Dak Prescott I just didn't like. Ever since that damn Colin Kaepernick stuff and how Dak spoke in some ill capacity towards that. He's a company guy. He told the line. And from that point, I always was kind of shaky about that. Man, I'm not going to do somebody nobody you don't look
man, listen, Dex, man, you should be shaky because obviously, basically, if Dex is shaky about that, full and well he's going to be shaky in the playoffs. My goodness.
Yeah, you can't. I just can't trust Dak. I can't really trust him. That's why I haven't really bet no money on the Cowboys because I just can't trust Dak. It's just something about this guy that he thinks he's better than what he is.
But the one thing you can trust that defense. That boy Michael Parsons ain't no joke.
No, Dallas defense has been good for a minute. Even when they had before Michael Parsons, when they just had Van Der Esch and what's the other boy from Notre Dame that broke his leg his rookie season. It came back strong.
Oh man, I know you're talking about. I forgot his name. I know you're talking
it's
about.
Some Justin or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, him. You know what I'm saying? And they had a good defense then. So their defense keep them relevant. It's just that offense is so inept at times, man. And Dak rookie season, the reason why it went so well, he didn't have no off the chart numbers. He was very pedestrian in his rookie season, even though he went 12-1. Is Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott was the one that was propelling Dallas to those victories like that, not Dak.
Mm-hmm.
And they ran him into the ground.
Literally, because they don't want to get a change up back. That's why I like what my team. That's why I like what Atlanta is doing. So we got a two-back system.
Shout out Rico.
Probably going to end up being a 3-back system, and we're just going to ride a course with that, man.
Yeah, this Dallas Cowboys is something else, man.
That way, we don't run what's his name, Bijan in the ground, because that boy Bijan is special.
Who else y'all got?
Bijan, Tyler Algier, still got Cordero Patterson. Drake London, Kyle Pitts, Matt Collins. That's our weapons right now. To be honest, man, I think we got Scotty Miller, but we need a decent speed guy. Dang, boy, Oregon State done scored again, 28. Oregon State scored again, about to be 28-0. Oh, excuse me, damn, my bad. Utah scored. My bad. Damn, I thought it was Oregon State. Utah scored.
So you got faith in your defense?
So what?
You got
Yeah,
faith
yeah,
in your defense?
yeah. The defense is fine. I know a lot of people get hung up on the sack totals. I mean, we're getting pressures, we're getting hurries, we're getting QB hits. You know, we're just not getting the sack, but it's kind of hard. It's hard to sack Goff though. That offensive line good, and Goff be getting that football out. So it's kind of hard to sack him, anyways. You know, and kind of basically a lot of people getting on the Falcons talking about Ritter. I mean, the Detroit Lions is just for real this year, man. They just that good. Which is crazy to say, Dex, that the Detroit Lions is actually that good this year.
Exactly. I mean, the last time the Detroit Lions was relevant, I think they had Scott Mitchell as their quarterback, and he played in Utah,
Literally,
in college.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Yeah, that's
the last time Detroit was relevant.
Have not ever been relevant. Even during Matthew Stafford and Megatron, were never relevant. You knew about them, but they were never good. Barely good. Probably had 1 or 2 seasons they were good. Other than that, man, you ain't hearing about none of that, man. Detroit now all of a sudden, basically Detroit, and that's why I think the Jacksonville Jaguars is stupid. Because why do you draft Trayvon Walker over Aiden Hutchinson? That's crazy. Aiden Hutchinson out here basically. Oh my! You said what? I can't hear you, Dez. You're breaking up. Breaking up, Dez.
Why you say
breaking up? Going through a tunnel. Going through a tunnel, big dog. All right, y'all. I guess we talking about a game here. Wait for Dex to come back. I am watching the Oregon State Utah game. It is 21 Oregon State, 7 Utah, and Utah is going to try to kick an onside kick. And Oregon State lets it go out of bounds. Flag, they're going to be put on the 35. Let's see what the chat talking about. Yeah, Cam Rising basically been out all season. He should be back. Hopefully later on in the season, but he might be out. But he's gonna be out. I told people that Cam Rising was going to be out. You know, pretty much for the most part. So, I mean, it is what it is. So hopefully he comes back.
Yeah, I'm back now. Yeah, because when you said I was breaking up, I looked at my device and I was kicked out. I was like, damn. 1 minute to be breaking up, and another minute to be kicked out.
Oh, Utah trying to make a quick little comeback. All right. But now forgot what I was talking about, Dex.
Oh, Detroit.
Oh yeah, Detroit. Yeah, man, they ain't gonna Jacksonville Jaguars stupid because they picked Trayvon Walker instead of Aiden Hutchinson. And Aiden Hutchinson turned himself in 2 years into a top 10 defensive player, defensive player.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But sometimes it's hard on that. You know, you take a guess 50-50 because, you know, you look at the rankings and what your team needs and what type of abilities player brings to the team.
Dex,
and it don't work out. No,
Dex. Okay,
break it down, Murdoch.
Dex. Everything you see is in the tape. It's on film. Aiden Hutchinson, when he was at Michigan, was a monster. Trayvon Walker, if you watch him on film, he was very raw. Very raw. Didn't have the top end pass rush moves. A lot of times, basically, he was slow moving to the football. Sometimes didn't show up on effort. Lack of effort. It all showed up on tape.
Wow, Murph.
Whereas basically
if you feel like that, I understand.
Because they chose Trayvon because of upside. High upside. They were like, all right, we're just going to choose the high upside player instead of the sure thing. Aiden Hutchinson was a guaranteed solid pick. They just didn't know that Aiden Hutchinson was going to turn into a top defensive player right now, but he was a guaranteed surefire pick because of his motor, his pass rush moves, his relentlessness, his pursuit to the football, his instincts, all that stuff pops out on tape. But they chose Trayvon because of upside. You see a lot of those upside and instincts and everything on tape from a lot of these players. A lot of teams just basically say, you know what, we'll just take a chance. When you just need to stick with your guns and be like, stick with this right here. That's all it is right there, man. So it's Jacksonville's fault they messed up. Now, by adding Aiden Hutchinson to that defense, it allows those other defenders to get one-on-one because they have to triple team Aiden Hutchinson now. Aiden Hutchinson's getting triple teamed every game now. He's getting chip blocked by guard, tackle, tight end.
He's a new Nick Bosa. He's a new Nick Bosa.
Literally, yes.
Wow.
Yes, he's not Nick Bosa, but you got Nick. So to me, I got Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, and Michael Parsons in one tier. No. Excuse me. It's J.J. Watt, Nick Bosa, Myles Garrett, and Michael Parsons in one tier. Then below that, you got Aiden Hutchinson in that second tier. That's how good he is. He's right there. He's right there below them.
Wow. Well, I mean, they did that.
So, because you know, Dex, you add a top 10 defensive end like that.
Oh, no
it's
doubt.
A game record. It's a game record. You can't run the ball on their side, and you can't pass. And that's what was happening. And that's what happened the last two games. He was wrecking the Falcons, and then as soon as he got to the the Green Bay, he just wrecked them. It was ridiculous.
Now, what do you think about the Falcons this year? Because not the Falcons, the Eagles. What do you think about the Eagles this year? Do you think they're serious, or they just got a beneficial schedule so far?
They got a beneficial schedule so far, but the Eagles defense is still the Eagles defense, man. I think their offense is coming out to, is getting out to a slow start, but it's still going to be heavy run game, heavy in the run, play action pass type deal. It's going to be fine once they get some things going, get Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown going. But the defense is still good, Dex. Their defensive line looked just as good, if not better than last year, bro. By adding Nolan Smith, Jordan Davis got better, got stronger. Then you add the freak of nature down there, and then Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter.
Yeah, Jalen Carter, yeah.
Jalen Carter actually leads the league as a rookie. He leads the league in QB pressures, as well as in winning rate percentage as a rookie in defensive tackle.
Was he Ohio State?
No, he was Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. That's right, Georgia. I knew it was a red team.
Yeah. He was supposed to go in the top 5, but because of the legal issues, he fell to 8.
With the car, right? With the car thing.
With the car thing, yeah. So basically, what happened was he fell to 8. He fell to 8 to the Bears. The Bears moved back. Where the Eagles swooped in and grabbed him because the Bears moved up. No, excuse me. The Eagles got him at 9. We took Bijan at 8. The Falcons took Bijan at 8, which I love Bijan by all means. But my God, man, I would love Jalen Carter right now. Goodness.
I remember the Bears fans were enraged when they seen that they missed out on the opportunity for Carter.
Oh yeah, man. They should have been. They should have been mad. But it was but listen, man. Listen, man. Let me see. And you know this, Diggs. Bad organizations always make bad moves. It is what it is, bro.
Yeah,
Once a
yeah.
bad organization, always a bad organization, man. Until you get a better
Well,
GM.
maybe they didn't want the legal issue to
That's
permeate the
mainly
season.
that's mainly what it was. That's mainly what it was. And the thing is with the Eagles take chances on a lot of guys.
Wow. Oh
You see what
yeah,
I'm
no
saying?
doubt. Michael Vick, number one.
They take chances on guys, and it's been successful for them. So they
Terrell.
took a chance,
Yep.
yeah, literally, and they took a chance on Jalen, and
And Jackson.
goddamn, man, shit. You said what?
Deshaun Jackson. They took
Yep,
a chance on him when they drafted
took a
him.
ch- yep, took a chance on him too. So it's like they known for doing stuff like that, and my goodness, man, it's been crazy. It's been man. Listen, man. Them getting Jalen Carter, man, has been everything for him. Everything and then some.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, but what really surprised me this season, outside of Miami, is definitely Detroit. Though Detroit really, I never imagined Detroit will have this much spunk in them. I don't know what turned it, but
Man,
somehow they turned over that leaf, man. They got a lot of spunk, and Detroit
you
out there
know,
punishing people.
you know what? Dex. I'm gonna tell you what turned it, Dex. Last year when they
Beat
made
Green
some
Bay.
good moves and they made some. So last year, Dex, they made some good moves in free agency, right? They picked up a couple of players and everything like that. But what really took them to the next level and changed that whole team was when they drafted Aiden Hutchinson. That's what
Oh,
happened, Dex. That's what happened. Because he had 10 sacks. He had 10 sacks last year as a rookie.
hmm
So
I didn't
that's
know
what
his
happened.
total sack number, but yeah, I know he was a beast.
Yeah, he had 10 sacks last year as a rookie.
I felt that Detroit Lions uh,
And then
was significant.
Jared Goff got better.
Yeah, yeah. Because see, they really got significant when they beat Green Bay. They knocked Aaron Rodgers out the playoffs. Because there was no better joy to see Aaron Rodgers go home by go home defeated by a Detroit Lions team that everybody had Green Bay just rolling over, and Aaron Rodgers make that last wild card team. And Detroit said, we got something to say about this. And that was
Literally. And
crazy.
you want to know a crazy stat? Since Aiden Hutchinson has been there, the Detroit Lions have not lost to the Green Bay Packers.
Wow.
That's
Wow.
crazy. They played them 4 times. They have not lost yet.
Yeah, and then that last game when they played against Green Bay, that was a meaningful game. It
It
wasn't
was.
like
It was.
that.
It was, and they stepped up and handled business. Shoot, Dan Campbell got that team rolling, man.
And
Yeah,
they won that
Dan
game
got that
flat.
team rolling. Dan got that team
Yeah.
rolling. Well, it looks like Oregon has State has beat Utah. We're gonna go to another another game. Oh, Cincinnati and BYU is playing.
What happened with Louisville? What about Louisville?
So
What
what?
happened with that? Because I was gonna lay some
Louisville
chalk on
won.
Louisville.
Louisville won. I don't know the score, but Louisville won because I'm keeping track of Louisville because I'm keeping track of Kevin Coleman Jr. So Louisville won, Dex. In case you want to know, I just don't know the score. I gotta look at the score for you. Yeah, I gotta look at the score for you, Dex. Hold on.
Big games tomorrow. Colorado USC. That's gonna be a bum burner up in Boulder.
Hey, so I got the score.
Everybody in them
Louisville
long
won.
cameras gonna.
So Dex, you here? Dex, can you hear me, Dex? You know, faded out now. Shit, Dex, you in that Obama phone? Rico, man, you need to come on up here, dog. So right now we are looking at the Oregon State game still, and it looks as though Oregon State has everything in hand. They are running the football, trying to run the clock out. Look, oh dang, that was a good play to fall in bounds like that. Oh wow, that was dope to fall in bounds like that. So number 6, the running back basically had stayed in bounds, and he was about to fall out of bounds. He had stayed in bounds. So
I keep getting kicked out.
oh man.
So what was the score? The Louisville?
The score for Louisville was 13-10. Louisville won.
Oh, they didn't cover. Well, I saved me some money. 13-10? And I thought about taking the over too. Oh my God, I saved me some money, man.
Yeah,
13-10.
and Cincinnati is playing BYU right now.
Yeah, I'm really interested in that game.
Yeah, BYU is winning right now, 21-10. That's a good catch.
So is Boulder gonna look like the BET Awards tomorrow?
Probably so. More than likely.
Everybody gonna come in the Easter suit?
Literally, man. Everybody gonna be there, man. They said it's been reported to say that about half the NBA gonna be there.
Yeah. Half of hip hop and all kind of stuff. It's gonna be crazy.
But that's how it was when Prime was playing. Like all the entertainers and everything came just to see him play. So
yeah.
Now they want to see him. Now they want to see him coach them boys, man.
Now they want to see him coach. Yeah. But it's okay. They can witness a beat down. We ain't gonna be mad at Prime if we get beat down.
Nah, man. I mean, because it's good pass and catch. My gosh, he put that on a rope. My goodness, that was a good pass and catch. In between the nickel back and the safety. Ooh, that was
so
nasty.
He's spinning that pig spin, huh? He out there spinning that pig spin.
Slinging, spinning that thing, Dex. My goodness, he's spinning that thing on that.
Yeah, I'd like to see them quarterbacks put that ball in that pocket. You know what I'm saying? That just shows high level skill when you're able to do that. Pinpoint accuracy.
Oh yeah, yes sir, man. I love seeing a good quarterback spinning, but I also love the running game, man. I love to see them big linemen get downhill.
I only like the running game. I only like the running game is when a back can have that breakaway speed. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like listen, I like a Jamal Charles now. That's why I love Bijan Robinson.
Jamal Charles from Texas, right?
You said what?
He's from Texas. Jamal Charles from Texas.
Oh yeah. That's why I like Bijan Robinson, because Bijan Robinson keep you on your toes because you don't know when he's gonna break it.
But wait. You said Jamal Charles. Are you talking about a different Jamal Charles?
No, I'm talking about Jamal Charles that played in the NFL. He's one of my favorite running backs.
Oh yeah, from Texas, right? The Longhorns.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure it's the same Jamal Charles.
Yeah.
Because that's the old back. He's an old school.
Yeah. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, Jamal Charles. That's him. Yeah, that's him. Yep.
Yeah. I like running back. I like running backs like him.
Yeah. He played. We won national championship with Vince Young. He was part of that Texas team. But listen,
Mm-hmm.
that backfield of the Kansas City Chiefs back then, they had another running back too. They had Jamal Charles and was it Larry Johnson?
Yep.
It was Larry Johnson, right? Yeah, right. Because Jerry Johnson got hurt.
They had a 3-year stint with running backs. They had Priest Holmes, Larry
Priest Holmes,
Johnson,
Larry
and
Johnson, Jamal Charles.
Charles. Yep.
Yep, that's right. You remember on Priest Holmes? Priest Holmes was a beast. People don't even talk about that dude. Priest Holmes.
Oh yeah, even
He's another running back from Texas. He played at the University of
He
Texas.
also had that was good thought though. That almost had it. Almost. That was a good thought though. He about put that on a rope. It's a little bit too high, but he about put that on a rope. My goodness, yeah. This quarterback can sling it.
Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Priest Holmes was the running back prior to Ricky Williams getting to the University of Texas with Mac Brown. And the reason why they got Ricky Williams, because he out of San Diego, California.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Williams were committed to go to UCLA. Then UCLA ended up getting Skip Hicks. I think Skip Hicks was out of St. Louis. Got Skip Hicks because Skip Hicks was supposed to go to Texas. And he ended up going to UCLA. So that made an opening for Ricky Williams to go to the University of Texas, and the rest is history. And we know what Ricky Williams did in college. He ran them up, set all kind of records in college football for running backs.
Unstoppable.
And UCLA could have had him as a running back, but they chose Skip Hicks instead of Priest Holmes. Instead of Ricky Williams. And Ricky Williams was pissed. He said he ran with passion because UCLA rejected him. Of course, we know what happened in the end, Stay off the weed.
Yes, sir. I know.
Yeah, Ricky Williams, he was a beast in college. He had a couple of good years in the pros, though. He had a couple of good years.
Good move. Dang. I thought he was going to get there.
Yeah, Jamal Charles, I think he was number 25, right, for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Mm-hmm.
Salute, CWE. Yeah, we just going down the yellow brick road of nostalgia. We letting them know that we know our football. Stay angry.
You still there, Dex?
Yep. Did you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You over there? You got the Obama phone.
I was saying basically, football is a stay angry sport. You know what I mean? Stay angry. You got to be angry out there in that field, man. If you ain't angry, man, somebody gonna kill your cat.
Exactly. So, but yeah, man, man, I'm ready. I'm ready to watch the game. Wish it came on now.
You anxious, right?
Yeah, man, I'm anxious, man.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, man. So,
because
basically they talk about how they just made I think they just had something came out with statistics that came out and said for the next 60 days it's supposed to be football on every day.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I'm
the next 60 days. How? That's impossible.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, how?
Football only come on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
That's what I said. And Monday.
So Tuesday, Wednesday is an off day.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, what are they talking about? But I don't know. Yeah, we could be talking about that, but yeah, man, it's just a great time of the year, and I can't wait for basketball to come back.
Oh man, that basketball right around the corner with training camp. And you see
Man, because
Damian
I already
Lillard.
know. Because I missed the stream. I missed the stream because I already know y'all talking about that Dame Lillard in trade.
Yeah, we talked about it plentiful, and just recently, it came out that Dame Lillard really didn't want to get traded. He wanted to rescind the trade because it didn't go where he wanted to go. And GM Joe Corin, he was like, forget it. You say you want to trade, we gave you a trade, you're out. And it looks like to me that he wanted this. This is what he wanted. He wants Portland for himself. For him and Chauncey Billups, he wants Portland. And I think Dame was a bane in his side because what can you do when you have such a financial superstar and Damian Lillard, the big fish in a small pond?
Mm-hmm.
There's not much you can do. How could you replicate the financial success of Damian Lillard bringing to the Portland area, Rip City, the Motor? And it just seemed like they wanted to team that. And they found somebody that can give them something in return that they can work with, as well as move on from that enormous contract and the stalemate of having a face of a franchise but not winning. And now the fans can kind of temper their expectations with the young core of the Scoot Hendersons and the Anthony Simons and the Shaden Sharps of the world and things of that nature, the Chris Murray. They can move in a direction at a pace that won't be too hasty and outpace the growth of the franchise. And I think that's a wonderful thing for Portland. They tried. They got all the way to the Western Conference Finals, and that was it. They apex. They maxed out. They couldn't go no further. That was their pinnacle. So now, okay, a reboot. No problem. Reboot it. We wasn't going to win no championship no way, especially in the heyday of Golden State. The only opportunity they did have is when Kevin Durant became available and he walked away from OKC down there in that red clay, and they tried to solicit KD to join himself, McCullough, and go for it. And KD said, maybe. And eventually KD went to Golden State. CJ McCullough got pissed and called him a snake. Then recanted. But nevertheless, Dame was present. Dame was there. Dame with his passive, aggressive ass. And like I said, I know I described him to the T, because how all of a sudden now you want to rescind the trade when you stuck your neck out there talking about, if you draft these little munchkins, I want out. Use that draft capital as an asset to occur veteran talent so we can get this team over the hump. If you don't do it, I'm out. And Joe Corin said, oh, really? If we don't do it, you're out? Okay, let's see. They called his bluff. And now he want to cry crocodile tears that he's going to Milwaukee instead of Miami. See, listen, it's all about the money, right? Murga, it's all about the money. And not talk about the money of the contract, not the contract money, but his branding. He thought he can take his brand from Portland and ship it down to Miami. That's what he wanted. Bigger market, right? And a variety market. Because you got a miniature melting pot down there in Miami. You know what I'm saying? In Portland, it's kind of white and black. There's some Mexicans. But Miami, you have a plethora of different people coming from all over the world to enjoy the luxury of South Beach and the peasantry, not just the luxury. It's not just the luxury of South Beach. There's peasantry in South Beach. And boy, is it pretty folk down in South Beach. I mean, the women are half naked half of the time.
It sure is.
So they really wanted to move his brand from Portland down to South Beach. That's what he wanted. And his family wouldn't mind living in South Beach because it's luxurious. It's a wide open space and it has water, lots of water. And the scenery is just off the chain, especially in summertime. So it didn't work out. This is why he pressed. He wanted to go to South Beach or nothing, right? It got to the point where his agent got so much involved in this trade talk that the NBA had to censor him and threaten Dame to fine him for interrupting a fair trade agreement amongst teams who might vie for his services. And now look what happened. He's in Milwaukee. He went from one small market to another small market. And we know Milwaukee market, according to Undisputed, is smaller than the Portland market. Oh my God. Yeah, he might have a chance to win, but man, then he might shrink his portfolio, his financial portfolio, going to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Not Portland, Oregon, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Can you listen? Milwaukee sounds good, right? It sounds tempting. But when you say Wisconsin behind it, you're like, oh my God. I don't like cheese that much. But there you have it, Murdoch. What you say?
Oh, mm. You still there with me, Dex?
Yeah. Did you hear me?
Yes, I did, man. Yes, I
Yeah.
did, man. Man, yeah, man. I just felt like that. It just kind of since Dane, I just felt like Dane was throwing a power or a hissy fit. He didn't get his way at first. Tried to go back, try to send it back. Didn't work out. Next thing you know, man, he ends up in Milwaukee, man. I'm happy for him. I mean, it's funny.
All right, I'm
Me and
cool with it.
me and what's his name? Me and Rico
Marquez?
was talking
Oh,
about it. Me and Rico
because
was
you know
talking
that's
about this.
Marquez' ex team. He jumped from New York to Milwaukee and back to New York. So I know he's probably pulling out his hair.
Yeah, man. Yeah, he got back and forth. He got back and forth. But I can't say nothing bad about Milwaukee because Dame Lillard was my favorite player. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, Dame Lillard my favorite player.
Oh, okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know one person who's ecstatic, and that's Scoot Henderson, because now it's all about him.
I mean, as it should be right now. As it
Yeah,
should
it's
be.
all about Scoot. Now he's probably clapping. Dang, I'm happy for you,
Shit.
bro.
Yeah, he clapping by the feet.
Man, he probably sea walking and everything else right now.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That was disgusting. That was disgusting by that quarterback.
Then he's still out there spinning that pigskin.
Man, listen. Nah, it was the quarterback from BYU. So, oh my goodness, that was disgusting. He made this defensive lineman miss so bad. That was Slovis? You got to be kidding. No, that was not Slovis. Man, Slovis done been in the NCAA for about 10 years.
Another 40-year-old version.
Dex, this man done played for USC for like 3 years, Pittsburgh for another year, not BYU. Come on, man.
Yeah, another 40-year-old version.
Literally.
I guess, I mean, I wish I was that smart. I wish I would have said, you know what? I messed up a little bit. Let me go back to school, try to play some sports. And be in here for like 25-year-old playing against 18-year-old. I would be a beast. Who would know, right?
That was disgusting right there, man. That pass was Slovis made this dude miss, threw on a rope to a spot. Receiver came and snatched it. It was gone.
Yeah, I mean, like I said about college football, it's high fever pitch. It's fun. You see young men out here learning how to play, trying to become professional so they can get properly compensated for their athleticism and their skill. Even though the NIL deals are intact, it's still fun to watch these young men play with so much exuberance, you know, and it's just crazy.
Hold on, real quick, Des.
I remember watching the Houston Cougars with QB Ware, Andre Ware, Heisman Trophy winner, just out there, just freelancing with the ball and the wide open West Coast offense, just slanging that ball all over the place. They barely had a run game. That's why they could never win nothing, really. But they were just slinging that ball all over the place. And I just thought, wow, man, these kids can play. If they just let them play and stop trying to be so overly micromanaging and overbearing with structure, the game could just be so crazy. And Andre Ware, Ty Detmer, those Cliff Kingsbury, those kind of players that just put up godly numbers in their college careers, it was just insane. Because it was never out of a game. And the reason why I like Cliff Kingsbury, because I like Texas Tech. Texas Tech is one of my favorite college teams. And these quarterbacks, the way they were slinging that ball all over the field on that tundra, they was never out of a game because their offense was so high explosive. It was ridiculous to see them putting up those like 70. Remember back then, they was putting up numbers like 70, 60. That was kind of regular. You know what I mean? And then they kind of scaled back a little bit because that was just a little outrageous. The 50 ball was like, damn, that's all the score was 50. I remember the overs and unders on those games was like 62 over and under.
Wow.
Those over and unders were sky high. That shit was crazy. And some teams was covering those numbers, man. Like BYU was covering. I remember the small school out of Louisiana, the Cajun Raisins. I'll never forget this school. Back in the late 90s, like 97, 98, was it? No, I take that back. Not the late 90s. Around the early 2000s. The Cajun Raisins. Was it the University of Louisiana Lafayette, I think? Man, they won me so much money. Messing with the Cajun and Akron University. Akron University, Cajun Raging, and Air Force. I forgot who that quarterback the Air Force had, but I don't think I think he did go to the pros, but he didn't do that. But man, they were just killing these teams and covering all these spreads, but they couldn't really never win a bowl game though, because bowl game everybody gets tight. Man, I was making so much money back then, it was crazy. And I'll never forget the team, the Cajun Raging. They were just covering all kind of spreads, man. A lot of the big schools, I couldn't really get no money on, but the little small schools, like Akron, Bowling Green did good. Miami of Ohio when Roethlisberger was there. When he was at Miami of Ohio,
I remember that.
They was killing people. And I can't remember that quarterback for Akron. He went to the pros too, but I just can't remember who his name was. I probably have to look it up. But he was for Akron, Bowling Green, Cajun Raging. Those dudes were just killing people, man, back in the day. And Vegas didn't know what to do because how could they monitor them? Because it was a small school, and I think they put somebody out there to really watch it because all of a sudden, Vegas got a little better than in rating their games and putting out the spread properly. Because at first they were just putting out anything for them schools, and they didn't really probably know too much about them, and they was killing, especially Miami, Ohio. Oh, Bowling Green had Josh something. You remember that quarterback? His name was Josh. His first name was Josh. I don't know if it was Josh. You remember that quarterback, Murdoch?
Who you
For Bowling Green. He was a black quarterback. It was a black quarterback for Bowling Green. He was killing everybody. And his first name was Josh. I know his first name was Josh, but I can't remember what his last name was. He went to the pros. I think he played with New England for a little while. The New England Patriots. He never really got no time, though. Because, Brady was there, so he didn't really get no time. But he was there.
Are you talking about Josh Harris?
Josh Harris, that's his name. Yes. Yes. Good call, my guy. Josh Harris, yes. Oh, man, that guy can get you some money when he was in college at Bowling Green. He was at Bowling Green quarterback.
He was good.
Yeah. Josh Harris, that's his name. He didn't get no burn, though. New England drafted him. He didn't get no burn. I was like, man, that's cold. They don't want that kid to excel. And then you had the other kids from Kansas State, the quarterback from Kansas State. I think New England drafted him too. He was really good in college. But he couldn't win no bowl game because I think it was Texas A&M beat them. That win, remember that win? That win beat this quarterback for Kansas State. I think it was around 2000 or 2001. I know it's long ago, guys. Just forgive me. I'm just talking about, days when I was just having some good money messing with these college sports. But the quarterback, he was like one of the top quarterbacks in college. Played at Kansas State. Could you remember that name? It was a brother. And I think he got drafted at New England as well. And then you have Seneca Wallace up there in Iowa State. Seneca Wallace will get you some money. I think, did he win the Heisman? Yeah, Seneca Wallace won the Heisman. Yeah, he won the Heisman that year up at Iowa State. Because he was getting you money, boy, because Seneca Wallace was covering them spreads. I cannot think of that quarterback. I think Darren Sproles played with him. Him and Darren Sproles played together at Kansas State.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
And they had a hell of a wide receiver, too.
Do you remember what year it was?
I think it was like 2000, 2001, 2002, somewhere around there. Because I remember Dad Wynn was the best linebacker in college. He was a Dick Buckus Award winner. That win for Texas A&M. And they played Texas A&M to go to the national championship. And Kansas State lost the game. Because if Kansas would have won, they would have played in the national championship game. But they lost.
Man, what year was it? Was that 03 or 02?
It could have been one of those years.
It had to be 03 or 04.
I know it was one of those years. It wasn't 05. I know it wasn't 05. It was between 01 and 04, somewhere around there. Whenever that win was in college.
You said who?
That win, the linebacker. Remember, it was a real short linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
For Texas A&M.
Yeah, because in 02 they went 11-2. And in 03 they went 11-4.
So it was 11-2 year then. It had to be the 11-2 year because they was going to play for the national championship, but they lost that game. They lost the Big 12. Was it the Big 12 championship? I think it was Big 12. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 02.
Yeah. You remember the quarterback? What's the quarterback name? Bishop. That's his name. Bishop. Something Bishop. His last name is Bishop. I can't think of his name. That name just popped up
You
in my
talking
head
about
just that fast. But
the
I can't remember his
quarterback?
first
Who
name.
was the
Yeah, the quarterback for Kansas
quarterback?
State. His
Kansas
last name
State.
is Bishop.
Nah, I don't see nobody last name named Bishop. Not for 02. Let me check 03.
Well, who was the quarterback then for 02?
Uh, the quarterback for
K-State.
K-State for 03, Kansas State 03 was L. Roberson.
I know Robertson, though. I remember Robertson. But the one I'm talking about that was a standout was Bishop. Okay, was Darren Sproles on that team?
Yeah, Darren Sproles was on it.
Okay, Darren Sproles. And what was the wide receiver? Give me the wide receiver name. Because that wide receiver, he was tough. And he was tough in the pros, too. I can't think what team. I can't remember what team he got drafted on. Was it the Rams? Hakeem. Was it Hakeem or something like that?
Yeah,
Hakeem, right?
because you're talking about
Yeah,
Michael Bishop. Michael Bishop
yeah, Michael
was
Bishop.
only
Yeah, Michael
there.
Bishop. Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Bishop was there in 97, 98.
Okay, Michael Bishop. Okay, but that
Yeah,
wasn't. Maybe that wasn't the year. Maybe I got the year mixed up.
because that year because in 97 they went 11-1, and then in
Okay, that's the
98
year. No, that's the year then. That's the
in
year.
98
Because I know they only lost that one game.
they went 11-2.
Yeah, it was that year right there. That year, 97 then. I was way off on my dates. But 97, yeah. Because I remember they were supposed to go to the national championship, but they lost that game. And I think Florida went to the championship. And this was what's the boy name? I think they played Nebraska. Danny Warfel, right? Danny Warfel was a quarterback for Florida, and Frazier was a quarterback for Nebraska. And Danny Warfel, they won that game. They beat Nebraska. Tommy Frazier and company. I think it was Tommy Frazier and my boy Phillips, Lawrence Phillips. Yeah, Danny Warfel. That was a good ass team too, though. That Florida team. Yeah, Michael Bishop. Man, that dude, he was nice. You can't remember. You can't find that wide receiver name, Hakeem, right? Oh, you already said that, right? It was Hakeem, right?
Yeah, so hold on, I'm looking it up because I know Terrence Newman was on that team.
Terrence Newman, yes. Terrence Newman, yeah.
was on that team.
Maybe that was the wide receiver I'm thinking about.
I know they had Taco. The one that was leading receiving was Taco Wallace. Hold on, let me see something.
No, I don't remember Taco Wallace like that. But I remember Terrence Newman. I definitely remember Terrence Newman. Well, I thought Hakeem played on that Kansas State team. The speedy wide receiver. And he went to the Rams. And they won that Super Bowl by the greatest show on turf. With Torrey Holt, Hakeem, and what was that other wide receiver they had over there? Isaac Bruce. If my mind serves me right, because like I said, I had left this sports stuff alone for a long time until the Ball brothers.
Yeah, it's no unless you know how to spell it. It's no Hakeem that played for Kansas State.
Hakeem, I think it's Hakim.
You said spell what?
I think it's Hakim. Or if it's Hakeem. Maybe I got the years mixed up.
Yeah, I
Maybe
don't
Hakeem.
see.
You don't see it,
I
huh?
don't see. Yeah, I don't see
You
it.
don't see Hakeem.
Mm-mm.
I'm not thinking about Hakeem Nicks with the New York who went to the New York Giants. Hakeem Nicks played at the University of North Carolina. I know you remember Hakeem Nicks. He got drafted by the Giants. He's supposed to be like,
Yeah.
well, who is they comparing him to? What's the boy from Dallas? Dez Bryant. Yeah, it's a Hakeem Nicks is gonna be like Dez Bryant.
Oh yeah, you talking about Azar Hakim?
Yeah, that's him. I think that's his name from Kansas, right? Kansas State,
Oh, let me see.
wide receiver. Because I can't remember his first name, but I know his last name was like Hakeem or Hakeem. I know he got drafted by the Rams, and he was part of that trio.
Nah, he
That was
went to San Diego State.
San Diego State from the Rams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, San Diego State. Okay, I got it. My bad there. So he's San Diego State. So I had him mixed up. So maybe that's what I'm thinking about Terrence Newman then. I'm only thinking about Terrence Newman. And then the speedy receiver, maybe just with Darren Sproles. Because Darren Sproles did it all. He caught off the backfield, he ran punts, ran kickoffs. Yeah, he was a utility back, Darren Sproles. Little bitty guy. I think he ended up getting drafted by New Orleans, the Saints. But it's the Saints or the Dolphins, one of them two. And then he either got traded. But I think it was the Saints that drafted him. And then I think he ended up playing with Philly. I don't know. I don't even know why I'm trying to think so far back.
Nah, you good.
Yeah, so
Shoot, man, you taking it back because I remember him when he played for the Rams. You know, the greatest show on turf.
yeah. That was a fast little son of a gun, boy. Yeah, so yeah, I was thinking about that game because of Michael Bishop. Yeah. Because I was like, man, that was a good old quarterback, man, but he couldn't get his due because he's playing behind Brady, you know? What can he do? I know they traded Michael Bishop, but I'm trying to think who they traded him to because he did get a little burn from the team that he got traded to. And then I think he got hurt. And he couldn't, and I was just for Michael Bishop. We didn't hear nothing else from him. The Raiders also had a good team at that time. I think that was the last time the Raiders was relevant. Was back then with the Jerry Rice and Tim Brown,
Rich Gannon.
Yeah, Rich Gannon. You know, they had a really good team. They had a good defense also. They had Woodson. Was it Woodson?
Yep.
Yeah, Heisman Trophy winner. Two-way player.
Charles Woodson.
Yeah. So they had a pretty good team. The Raiders did back then. And then all of a sudden, once that Rich Gannon got hurt, that team was never the same, man. Saragusa landing on that man's shoulder, man. He hurt him on purpose. They put a hit out on Rich Gannon.
Man, they not Rich
I remember
Gannon.
my homeboy used to call him Bitch Gannon. My homeboy used to call him Bitch Gannon because he didn't like him. He thought he was soft. Bitch Gannon.
Well, this Cincinnati BYU game turned into a shootout.
I remember when the Denver Broncos was like that. When they went back to back. They almost won 3 in a row. You know that, right? Denver almost had the opportunity to win 3 in a row Super Bowls like the Cowboys.
I know, man.
They,
I know.
and Burnell knocked them out. What's his name? Was it Scott Burnell? I mean Rick Burnell or something like that. What was Burnell's name? I think it was Rick Burnell.
Yeah, it
For
was
the
Rick Burnell.
he played at the University of Washington, lefty quarterback, and I think him and Corey Dillon played together in college. Corey Dillon and Rick Burnell, I think they played together. And Rick Burnell got drafted to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's when it was the first expansion team. I think he was their very first pick, if that served me right. So I remember I used to win this on a tribute contest. Rick Burnell was the very first pick for the Jacksonville Jaguars when they first year and their inauguration into the NFL as an expansion team. And I forgot who was the first pick for Carolina. Man, I forgot who was the first pick for Carolina. It wasn't Smith, and it wasn't the boy from Notre Dame, the quarterback from Notre Dame. It was somebody else that was the first pick for Carolina. Do you remember who their first pick was? Because they both came into the league at the same time, Jacksonville and Carolina.
What year?
When they first came into the league. Whatever year they first came into the league, I can't remember exactly what year that Carolina came into the league, Carolina Panthers and Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yeah, they came into the league in 93.
Or 93?
Mm-hmm.
93?
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't know it was that long ago.
They was established in 93.
Oh, okay. So do you remember who was Carolina first pick?
I do not.
Okay. But Carolina was like the first expansion team to make the playoffs the fastest out of any other team that was an expansion team that didn't originally come with the league. It was the first team to make the playoffs the fastest. I think they beat Jacksonville by 1 year. But Jacksonville turned it around pretty fast as well with the Fred Taylor and company. And Jimmy Smith as a wide receiver. And Jimmy Smith was an ex-Cowboy who Cowboys
their first draft pick. Let me see. Their first draft pick was in 95. It was Kerry Collins.
Kerry Collins, there you go. Penn State. Remember I said it wasn't the Notre Dame quarterback. I knew it was a quarterback. Kerry Collins, Penn State. Yep, mm-hmm. Penn State. Kerry Collins. That's where they first picked him. I couldn't think because I knew, and then Jacksonville was Burnell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, Kerry Collins. Yeah, I remember. Okay, Kerry Collins was good in college, but he couldn't cut the mustard in the pros because they ended up having Jake Delhomme, who was pretty good. I think he was a very underrated quarterback, Jake Delhomme. And they had the boy from Notre Dame. He was a journeyman also. I can't think of his name, but it started with a B. His last name starts with a B. Played at Notre Dame. Was a real good quarterback at Notre Dame. And Carolina had him as well. Burline. That's right. Chris Burline. You remember him for as y'all quarterback down there in Carolina? Burline.
I don't root
No, Steve Burline. Excuse me. I said Chris. I mean Steve Burline.
Yeah.
Steve Burline out of Notre Dame. He was a pretty good quarterback for you guys, Steve Burline. But y'all best quarterback besides Cam Newton was Jake Delhomme. Because Jake Delhomme took y'all to the Super Bowl first. And New England beat y'all, barely beat y'all. Though. I think it was a field goal to beat y'all. Field goal by Adam Vinatieri beat y'all. But y'all was balling with him though, because y'all had that hell of a defense, man. Y'all, because your team, Carolina, knocked my Cowboys out because they hurt Michael Irvin. You remember that? That's what caused Michael Irvin to retire. He got hit going across the middle and snapped his neck.
Yep.
Y'all had a really good defense back then.
Who's defense? I'm a Falcons fan.
No, Carolina. I'm just saying Carolina because you down in Carolina. You down in North Carolina or South Carolina right now? North Carolina, right?
Carolina, but
Yeah,
I don't root for
that's right. You don't root for them. That's right. You don't root for them. Yeah. Now we want to go back to the Falcons. I can go back to Steve Brokowski.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah.
Steve Brokowski. Let me see who was y'all running back. Who was y'all running back in the day? Y'all had a good running back too. Was it Wilbur Marshall?
I don't know. He set a rookie record too.
For Wilbur Marshall?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Wilbur Marshall was on.
Yeah, because Tyler Algier just broke it this year. Well, last year.
Oh, is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know. Because the only other running back I knew y'all had that was good was Jamal Anderson.
Oh yeah, old Dirty Bird.
Dirty Bird. The Dirty Bird. Man, he used to clown with the Dirty Bird. Matter of fact, that was like a national anthem. The Dirty Bird. People couldn't wait to see him do the Dirty Bird. Because that was the newest thing and the newest sensation that swept the nation since the Icky Shuffle. I know you remember the Icky Shuffle, Icky Woods, Cincinnati Bengals. Yeah, Icky Shuffle. But yeah, Jamal Anderson, man, that was a big old dude, huh? Whatever happened to Jamal Anderson after that? Because once he left Atlanta, did he go somewhere else? Did he go to the Cardinals or something? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I don't remember.
I knew he went somewhere else when he left the Cardinals. I mean, not the Cardinals, the Falcons. He didn't want to leave, but I think they kind of forced him out. They kind of forced him up out of there.
Nah, he stayed his whole career with Atlanta.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm.
I thought they traded him. Maybe I'm thinking about the other Jamal.
Yeah, he left the league at like 29.
Maybe I'm thinking about Jamal Lewis.
Yeah, you might be talking about Jamal Lewis from the Baltimore
Ravens. Yeah, the Baltimore Ravens. Maybe I'm thinking about him. How they kind of forced him out. Yeah, I know Jamal Lewis personally. Well, I used to know him. I don't really know him anymore. I used to be down there frequent in Atlanta. Out there in my sinful days.
Sinful days.
Yeah, my sinful days when I was lawless. Yeah. Atlanta used to be off the chain. It's not as bad as it used to be. But when it was just like really lawless, I'm talking about like uncivilized, social and social delinquents. it was just a bunch of denigrades.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fun. But Atlanta's for young people, though, really. It's really for the youth. Ain't for old men. No country for old men down in Atlanta. Atlanta was the first place that I went to since I've been alive where I saw so many affluent black people. You know, because where I'm from, yeah, you have affluent black people, but it's sporadic. You know what I mean? This section, a little bit over here. But Atlanta it just was everywhere. downtown Atlanta and all those high-rise buildings and corporate buildings, it was black people and a lot of young black women. And I was just thrilled when I seen that for the first time. I'm like, this is a city with it ain't Africa, it ain't Washington D.C. You know, Washington D.C., the city that Martin Luther King left all them black folks there. They went to march, and then Martin Luther King didn't take them back to where they came from, so they stayed in Washington D.C. and got government jobs. And I was like, Atlanta. I'm like, man, I even thought about moving to Atlanta. My homeboy had a crib out there, and so I used to go visit him all the time, just to be a part of that type of scenery. Because, like I said, where I come from, it doesn't match to that degree. Now, I'm not saying that where I come from, we're, just impoverished. Nah, it's not the case. It's middle class and upper middle class. And they might have more money than the people in Atlanta, but the people in Atlanta, money looks like it went further. You know what I'm saying? Like if you was in Atlanta making $100,000 a year, that $100,000 a year look like you making $500,000 a year in Cali. That's how far they money went. They stretched. And I thought that was awesome. So when I was gazing the landscape, and then I saw so many young, beautiful black women on the uprise and educated, that was in the daytime, of course. At nighttime, we already know what it's like in Atlanta. Everybody take their clothes off. No matter what's your level of education or your financial background, everybody taking their clothes off at night.
Wow, Dex. That's funny.
Yeah, I'm just saying, that's how Atlanta is. I mean, keep it 100. In the daytime, it looks so severe and well structured and, and promising. Decorum at its best. But man, when that sun go down, I don't know what happened, what they drinking, if it's in the water or not. Everybody just come promiscuous. And I was enjoying every minute of it. Who am I to be the righteous one, right?
Exactly.
And it was crazy. So, and that's where I met Jamal Lewis. I met Jamal Lewis in Atlanta. And he had a business venture going on, and I was going to be a part of it. And it didn't work out the way that I thought it was going to work out. So it was all good. Yeah, he's a very down to earth dude, man. He's a real dude, like a real dude, but he's huge. I mean, this dude is muscle from head to toe. I didn't even realize how huge he was, as far as his muscles and everything, watching him play football. I remember that the announcers
was small. He looked small compared to
Lyman, yeah.
Lyman.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, man, Marlowe's a big dude.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
Jerome Bettis a big dude too.
I never met Jerome Bettis. The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus turn round and round. Jamal Lewis is crazy. Yeah, I mean not Jamal Lewis. I mean Jerome Bettis is crazy when he used to do that dance. Yeah, Jerome Bettis. That's another Notre Dame touchdown, Jesus. Matter of fact, I think Steve Berline and Jamal Lewis played. I mean, not Jamal Lewis. Jerome Bettis played together in college, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, those were some hell of a days in Atlanta, though. I ain't gonna lie, man. Those were some hell of a days. And it just seemed like it went by so fast. Like in California, you got in the hood. I'm talking about in the hood. Watch.
Mm-hmm.
In California, the way the hood is structured, you got a church and a liquor store on every corner.
Literally.
In Atlanta, you got a church and a strip club on every corner. After you do all that shaking on Friday and Saturday, you go Sunday to wash your sins, to reconcile your differences. Yeah. Because I had never seen so many strip clubs all the days of my life. Because normally strip clubs are kind of, scattered out a little bit, kind of separated from the residential and the business district, kind of on the outskirts.
Mm-hmm.
In Atlanta, that's not the case. That is not the case. They got strip clubs downtown, i.e. Magic City, Peaches. Like, what? Are you freaking serious?
Mm-hmm.
And probably more than that. Just those the ones I knew about. Tampa's another place to have
a strip club on every corner is wild.
Yeah, that's how it is. It's like it's their lifestyle. I mean, it's no big deal. People was eating in strip clubs. I remember my homeboy took me to Magic City. He was like, "Yes, the wings here, man, ain't nothing like it, man. I'm talking about they even better than 7-Eleven." So I was like, okay, I get some wings. But how in the hell can I concentrate eating on my wings and these girls dance with their big old butt in my face? What wings do I want? Do I want these wings or I want those wings?
I'm stupid. Shoot, man, you could have got both.
It's hard. I took them other wings down and went with the girls. Shit, fuck them wings. But I was like, dude, I was just at my partner. I said, man, how you eat in a strip club though? Man, just eat. Like, oh, okay.
It's normal. It's normal to them.
Yeah, it's normal. That's what I'm saying. It's a lifestyle. Strip club don't mean anything. I'm all excited. Like, man, this girl is fine as I don't know what. And she doing all that. She ain't got to do all that, man. As fine as she is. But like I said, it's the lifestyle. It's no big deal. They don't get all excited like I was when I first started seeing that stuff. Girls walking around the club just nude, just naked, just walking around the club like it ain't nothing. You want a drink? You want water? You want a Red Bull? I'm like, nah, actually, I want you. Damn that drink. No, I'm just the what you call them girls? The bottle girls or whatever. The host or whatever they call it. I don't do no dancing. I'm like, a lot of these girls that bottle girls are better than the damn dancers.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy. Like, yeah, so like I said, some people go every night to strip clubs. And then there's some that do it as a weekend adventure. Let's go to the club, strip club. I mean, I don't know, they don't say strip club. They say, let's go to the club. And when they say let's go to the club, I'm thinking they're going to the club like how we go in LA to the club. That's a real club. You follow what I'm saying? Strip club and clubs is two different things in LA. Not in Atlanta. And so when they say let's go to the club, I'm thinking to go to the club, the bar, little dancing or whatever. There ain't no dancing. The girls do all the dancing and they're out there. So I was like, wow, this is two different ways, lifestyle ways that I'm not familiar with. I'm thinking, let's go to the club. I'm thinking like, put on something nice and let's roll. Nah, they ain't putting on nothing nice. They just putting on something. Ain't got to be all that nice. So I had to get used to that. Club means strip club. Where I'm from, You have to say strip club. You can't just say club because they got real legit clubs. Or you say bar. So that's how they separate it now. Let's go to the bar, meaning not a strip club. Let's go to the club, meaning a strip club.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. That's crazy how the vernacular is. But yeah. So he doesn't live in Atlanta no more. So I don't really go to Atlanta no more. And my homeboy's sister don't live out there no more. So it's really no need for me to, wasn't no need for me to really go there anymore because I don't have nobody that I'm cool with and trust to, to take my ass out there to Atlanta. My homeboy really don't go out there no more. My other homeboy used to take me out to all the strip clubs because he had a girl out there, and so he doesn't. They ain't together, so he don't really go out there no more either. Now his ass down in Houston, and boy, Houston's the miniature Atlanta.
Oh, I heard.
Them girls out there in Houston be wilding too, good old Texas girls. And they not as sassy as Atlanta. I'll give them that. They're a little more down home with it, They respect the game more. Atlanta, they don't respect the game. The game done got real sloppy out there with them. But down there in Texas, they still respect the game. At least the last time that I was down there, they was respecting the game. Now they might, there's no telling now because I ain't been down in Houston in a long, long, long time. So I really can't vouch for what it's like now. But they was thrilled. They showed me the time of my life. They was thrilled. It was like, this is my boy from Cali. Show them a good time. It was like, what? And they think I knew every celebrity known to man. No, I don't know those people. You seen this person? You seen this person? You seen this person? No, I don't know those people. You know who Trey Songz is? That shit crazy. How everybody think because you from LA, you know all the celebrities. No. You might see them every now and then, but I don't know these people. And I don't really care to know these people. So what's the score like now, bro?
Give me a moment. Last time I checked, it was 35-20 BYU.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad. And what they playing again?
It's Cincinnati versus BYU.
Oh,
They playing,
Cincinnati.
yeah, and they playing in BYU.
I remember Cincinnati had a pretty good team for a few years.
Yeah, they had a few good teams with Desmond Ritter there.
Say that again?
Yeah, they had a few good teams there when Ritter was there.
Yeah, Ritter. Yeah. Cincinnati had a couple of basketball teams that was good, and they had a couple of football teams that was good. But not enough to really make you pay attention to Cincinnati,
Hold on.
Because that used to be the rivalry, Cincinnati and Louisville, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of remember that back in the day. That used to be like a little rivalry, Cincinnati and Louisville. Because Louisville is like right down the street from Cincinnati, not too far.
Yeah, it's a couple hours, because you got Louisville, and it's like a straight shot to Cincinnati.
Right, straight shot, yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, because I've been to Louisville before. So yeah, I've been to Louisville, Kentucky. Shoot, they got that Kentucky. They got that Ferrari museum out there.
Where is that?
It's in Kentucky.
Because I think I've seen it before, but I'm not for sure.
It's in Kentucky.
is it close to Louisville, like Shepherdville, somewhere around there?
Nah, it's not close to Louisville. It's like on the border of Tennessee. I forgot what city it's in. It's like on the border of Tennessee and Louisville. It's like on the border of Tennessee and Kentucky, but it's in Kentucky though. Because
Okay,
that's the
so
one. Yeah, because that's the one. Basically, it's like the big Ferrari museum, and basically,
I've seen that
yeah, that's
before. I'm
the
telling you.
that's the one. That's the one where it got like the where basically it had that sinkhole in it.
Okay, I ain't never like been there, but I remember
It
seeing
got a
it
sinkhole. It
in
got a
bypass.
sinkhole with like all the old model cars that's built. What happened was it was a sinkhole that happened, like like a little earthquake, and a sinkhole was there, and all
Oh,
those cars, like old model cars, fell in that sinkhole.
whoa, is that
Yeah,
right?
a lot of money, a lot of money. So basically so a lot of the cars they rebuilt them and put them on display, sitting right there and right there, and they redid the sinkhole area so
Uh
it's
huh.
stable, and basically they have it for display. You can look down in there and see the cars down there.
Oh wow, yeah. So that's got to be like off the 65 where the border is, right?
Yep, it is.
Okay. I don't know what city that is either, to be honest with you.
I forgot the name of the city, but
But I kind of remember a
it's some
Ferrari
country place.
thing in Kentucky, and I was like, what the hell is Ferrari doing in Kentucky? If I can remember. Yeah. But I've never been there though. I've never been there. I just only seen it on the bypass. So Cincinnati. Have you ever seen the Cincinnati Stadium?
I haven't.
What's that, Riverfront Stadium? That's what it's called? Riverfront Stadium?
You saw what?
Cincinnati Stadium where the Bengals play.
No, I never been there.
That's right there by the border too, by Kentucky.
Hmm.
It sits over by some water. I think that's why they call it Riverfront. I think that's the name of that stadium, Riverfront Stadium. At least that was the old name of it. I don't know what it is now. But coming out of Kentucky, you can see that stadium. When you get downhill, you go down this big ass hill, and then when you get to the basin of the hill, that stadium sits right there on the right hand side. I remember I've been to
Yeah,
the
it's
Washington
only
D.C.
so so Louisville is only an hour and 30 minutes from Kentucky, as well as
I mean Cincinnati.
it's on. Excuse me. It's only an hour and 30 minutes from Cincinnati, as well as basically all in that same areas: Louisville, Cincinnati, and Indianapolis from Indiana, all in that same area. It's like a triangle.
Indianapolis?
Yeah, Indianapolis not that far either.
So Indianapolis from Cincinnati, you have to take the 71. So you said the 70 but how far is that? About 100 some miles?
Well, from Louisville to
No,
Cincinnati,
from Cincinnati. Yeah.
it's only 90. It's
Oh,
only
okay.
about 100 miles.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now, it's a chick. She's like, she's gay, right? This chick is gay,
Hmm.
and she lives in Cincinnati with her co-partner, and she has a restaurant. And when I go to Cincinnati, she cooks me meals. She cooks pretty good too. Though. She gay is all out doing. Got a little restaurant down there. Like they're on like kind of on the outskirts, but it's still Cincinnati. She was doing pretty good. And then they was doing some remodeling on her restaurant. And I don't know what happened after that, after they did the remodeling. But I haven't been down there since. Old Cincinnati. That's an old ass city too, man.
It is, man.
Yeah.
I heard it was. I got homeboys from there.
Yeah, it's an old city, Cincinnati. A lot of old areas, you can tell. This shit been here forever. I think what was it? What was that? Cincinnati, was it a steel mill or something? I mean, is that where they was making their money in the steel industry?
Yeah.
I think it was one of those things.
Yeah, because they still do that. Going more to up north to Cleveland, they still do steel out there.
Yep. Cleveland, yep. Cleveland is kind of weird too, though, man. My dad from Cleveland. That's kind of a weird place.
Man, Cleveland is like the poorest place in the United States now.
That's Jackson, Mississippi. Jackson, Mississippi is the poorest.
They one of them.
He said they one of them.
I'm talking about major city though.
Yeah. They got like over 100,000 or something, right?
Yeah,
because that's what I read.
People there.
Yeah, Cleveland. Yeah, but I'm saying I don't know how many people in Jackson, Mississippi, but I read that was the poorest major city in America, Jackson, Mississippi. I didn't even know that.
I mean, I think all cities in Mississippi poor. Besides the one that probably got Mississippi State and Ole Miss.
Okay, that's Sparks. That's Sparks, Mississippi, and what's the other one? What's the hell is Ole Miss at, man? Ole Miss Rebels. Man, I forgot where they are located. But I think Mississippi State is located in Sparksville or something like that.
Yeah, because they got old white money there.
Mm-hmm. And they not too far from each other, right? Ole Miss and Mississippi State. I don't think they're that far from each other. Because like they got like 4 top colleges in all of Mississippi. Number 1 is Ole Miss.
Oxford, Mississippi.
Oxford, there you go. Ole Miss, Oxford, there you go. Oxford, Mississippi. Yeah, you got Ole Miss, you got Mississippi State, you got Southern Miss, that's down in Hattiesburg, and then you got Jackson, Mississippi. I mean Jackson State University, which is in Jackson, Mississippi. Those are the top 4 colleges in all of Mississippi.
Yeah, Oxford and Starkville is only about an hour and a half apart.
Yep. And that's how you get that rivalry. What's the rivalry called? Is it a Civil War rivalry? What is it? Is it something like that?
I think so. Yeah, something like that.
When I think they fight over acts or something. When they play each other, that's their rivalry game. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because I knew they wasn't that far from each other. Mm-hmm. Oxford, Mississippi, and Sparksville.
Yeah, no, it's called the Egg Bowl. Tradition name the
Egg Bowl. Here you go.
The battle.
There you go. Egg Bowl. Yeah. Egg Bowl. Yeah. And look, when Deion took over for Jackson State, he made that the most relevant college in Mississippi. It wasn't the biggest, but it was the most relevant when he was down in Jackson State. That's crazy. And then they had They had an interview with Deion Sanders on 60 Minutes,
I saw.
and a lot of I didn't see the interview. I didn't watch it, but I heard there was some backlash from Jackson State faculty about the way they depicted Jackson State for only showing the impoverished areas. It was like they did a hit job on the city of Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, 60 minutes ain't 60 minutes was wrong for that.
Yeah, yeah. You know how
Can't
they
blame
do.
Deion.
No, they ain't
Blame
Deion fault.
Deion. That's 60 minutes.
Yeah, he don't edit none of that.
Yeah, but 60 Minutes is known for doing stuff like that, though.
Of course. They're gonna always downplay black folks. So yeah, Deion ain't got no. He don't have no control over how they gonna edit the surroundings.
Yeah, because I ain't like to do questions either. That was interviewing Deion. So a higher power called you to Jackson State. So did the higher power call you here? I know Deion wanted to smack the heck out of that dude.
What did he say? What did he say though?
He said the dude said, "Oh, a higher power called you to Jackson State." So did a higher power call you to being sarcastic? Like, did a higher power call you to Colorado to leave those Jackson State people behind? I was like, bro, really?
What was Deion's response?
I forgot what he said, but he was. But Deion great with the words.
He was gonna follow that one up.
Yes, sir. You know he did.
But that's a good question. I think that's a good question, to be honest with you. If a higher power is calling you, where else is calling? You know, because it don't stop, do it. But not the way that he put it. I know what you're saying, though. Not the way how he phrased it, where he seemed like
because he made it seem like he was leaving Jackson State behind and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But Deion just worded it in the way where he was just like, yeah, man. And I got called to Jackson State to begin my mission, and now my mission leads me here. And it was an opportunity that came calling for him, and Deion said he prayed about it, and it was just like, hey, just go and roll with it for Colorado.
And that's very interesting that you bring that up, because I remember talking to Uncle Vern on Deion, because he was kind of semi-chastening me for not using the term Coach Prime. And I was sharing with him, just like Deion said today on Undisputed. And I was like, damn, I hope Uncle Vern watched this. That he's bigger than Coach Prime. This is bigger than Coach Prime. And so when I was telling Uncle Vern this about a week ago, that the reason why I just don't find myself just confined to calling him Coach Prime is because he's been Deion Sanders before he was Coach Prime. And so I'm referring to the total envelopment of the atmosphere surrounding Deion Sanders. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So Coach Prime is just part of the journey. It's not the end all be all. That's just part of it. And he mentioned that today. I think it was today, yeah. He mentioned that today on Undisputed. And I was like, look at this shit here. I ain't never had no conversation with Deion. I'm just observing and listening to how he's laying this thing out. And I was like, man, I hope Uncle Vern hears that, because that would vindicate me. Because he was making it seem like I'm not recognizing the Coach Prime aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then Coach Prime was saying today on Undisputed in front of Skip Bayless, Keyshawn Johnson, and Michael Irvin, that this thing is bigger than Coach Prime. You know, Coach Prime is just part of the journey, is where I'm at now. But tomorrow, I'm being on some other. Not actually tomorrow, but forecasting, foreseeing. In the future, you know, I'm gonna be somewhere else with it. But it's still part of the same journeys, part of the same mission. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, he said that's wonderful. I said, I hope Uncle Vern could hear that because maybe he won't be on me so hard for not using the term or phrase Coach Prime. Not that I'm excluding Coach from his name like he's not a good coach, being disrespectful or being derogatory. No, I'm not doing that. I'm just addressing Deion Sanders as he is in the total envelopment of what he's doing, not just Coach Prime. Because Coach Prime that's cool, but that's not what I'm interested in. Because I was interested in Deion Sanders before he became Coach Prime, and before it was even in my head that he would ever be Coach Prime. I'm talking about the Florida State Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't thinking about or Neon Deion. See, a lot of people don't remember his name was Neon Deion.
I remember that.
Name in the bright light.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't address him on that aspect. I address him on Deion Sanders, the total envelopment of what he got going. He said today on Undisputed Murdoch. And I said, look at this kid here. About a week ago, me and Uncle Vern had a little quibble, nothing serious, but a little quibble. That he wanted a little clarification why I'm not using the word coach in front of Prime as a adverb. You know what I'm saying? And I try to explain to him like I see him bigger than Coach Prime. I don't see him in just the aspect of coaching at Colorado University or Jackson State University or even the academy that he had. I've seen it way before then. When it was initially Deion Sanders, it's going to start Deion Sanders and it's going to end Deion Sanders because all the other things are just titles,
Mm-hmm.
and those titles will leave him. You know what I'm saying? And he'll still have his name intact. But nevertheless, I just thought that was pretty fascinating to see that. And that was the only segment I watched. And I didn't even watch it like intentionally. It just happened to be the segment while I was watching it. And he was, talking when he was talking. I was like, wow, that's interesting right there.
Mm-hmm.
That the way he said it, and it matched what I said, not verbatim, but the closest thing you can get to verbatim, you know what I mean? Of why I see him the way I see him and the way and why that I use his name the way I use it when I'm describing or speaking about him in such a way. I was like, wow, that's cool that how he broke that shit down because that's how I saw it in the first place anyway. The bigger picture, and that's what he was explaining to Keyshawn Johnson today. The bigger picture, it's bigger than Coach Prime. Like Nino Brown said, "Hey man, this thing is bigger than me. It's bigger than Nino Brown."
That's too funny.
Yeah, that's way out, right? So now that Coach Prime is here, we got the big game tomorrow, and all eyes will be descending on Boulder, Colorado. I don't think it'll be an empty log cabin in the area. So this is gonna be a good one. And I just believe that they're gonna have a better showing against USC than Oregon, for sure.
I think they will, but they have to, man.
Yeah, I mean, but no, they're not gonna win. I don't think they're gonna win. But nobody expect them to really compete with a team that's been assembled for 2 years and 2 years strong.
Just scored.
Because the only person they really lost was Jordan Addison, right?
Who, USC?
Yeah, on that offense.
Um,
Everybody
they
else is
lost a
still
few. They lost a
maybe
few
a couple
guys
of
there.
linemen. A couple of
They
linemen.
lost they lost some linemen and linemen. I mean, the biggest name is Jordan Addison. I think they
Right.
lost
That's
they
basically what I'm
lost a
saying.
they lost a left tackle and right tackle.
But normally USC they just reload on those aspect of the offense. But when you lose like the Jordan Addison type, that kind of hurts. But the offensive linemen, those people reload on that. Defensive line, they reload on that. They have a pipeline coming in year out for the recruits on that aspect of the football. It's just those skill positions. Sometimes it's hard to replace at USC. Like they still haven't got a good running back. When the last time they had a decent running back at USC? I can't even remember.
Their running backs haven't been that decent now the past couple of years. I
Yeah.
mean, the last prominent one was Reggie Bush. That was it.
No. They
They
had
had
one.
one last.
Yeah.
They had
Uh-huh.
one. They had one right after that. A few years right after that. Can't think of his name, but
I can't think of his name either, but I know who you're talking
but
about.
that was about. But yeah, but then I know because I know he had like a short stint in the NFL.
Yep. He had a short. Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
So basically, so the biggest weapon he lost was Jordan Addison. They lost Andrew Voyers, which is the offensive lineman. They lost their
Yeah,
defensive
he went to
lineman.
what today, right?
Yeah.
Voorhees. He went to Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's at
And
Baltimore right
so
now.
yeah, they lost Tuli Tulapolo to from he went to the San Diego Chargers. He a monster right now. He got like
He's an
5
offensive
sacks.
lineman. Oh yeah,
No,
he's a defense guy. Yeah.
he's a defensive line. He got like 5 sacks.
Yeah.
And they
Okay.
also lost that. They also lost their cornerback in Makai Becton.
Yeah, but their cornerbacks is so right now. My homegirl son plays with them. He's Caleb Blaylock. Kalen Blaylock. That's my homegirl
Hopefully,
son right there.
hopefully he can
Well,
do
her
better,
grandson.
man.
Basically, her grandson, not her son. Her grandson.
USC DBs is suspect right now.
Yeah, they suspect, but they say he's a number. He's like the number one something in the nation. I read something on him, Kalen Blaylock. I forgot what it was, but he leads the nation in something. So they looking at him right now. He's right now. He's projected to be in the first round,
I mean, yeah,
or
they could
early
probably
second round, or early second round.
they can probably look at him from an individual standpoint. Yeah,
Uh huh.
just look at his reps, but as a
Yeah.
whole, from the slot to the other cornerback and the safeties, he's probably doing good, but everybody else look bad.
Yeah. That's true too. Because I mean, we know that USC defense is not. I mean, there's nothing to brag about. That's just true. I hear echo.
Can you hear me, Dex?
Yeah, they not nothing to brag about. Yeah, there you go. I hear you better now. Yeah, USC defense is not nothing to brag about. That's the damn sure. But that offense, they lead in two major statistical categories, and that is total yards and yards per play. No,
Right,
excuse me.
but
They second in total
right.
yards. They lead in
I'm,
touchdowns.
but Dex, look who they played, man.
Yeah, but you still got to put big numbers up. That's the key.
But Dex, you can put big numbers on a San Jose and a Nevada.
I know, but I mean, whoever's in front of you, you have to dominate, right? Just like look at
Yeah,
Georgia. Look at Georgia. Only person that plays somebody good in the top
Georgia
five is
hasn't Georgia hasn't looked good. Georgia.
I
South
know, but they
Carolina
beat a
gave
team.
Georgia.
Yeah, they beat a
South
team
Carolina
like
gave.
66-10 or something.
Yeah, but that was like a division. That was like a small like school, man. They're supposed to
That's,
beat them by that much.
that's what I'm saying.
That's
That's what
why.
you're supposed to
That's what.
do. Yeah,
I mean, because so that makes their staff overinflated. Like this is my
right.
opinion. I will judge
Yeah,
USC when they play against top competition later on in the season, like when they play against
I agree.
Oregon and Washington. Right
I
now,
agree. No, I
basically,
agree.
yeah, right now, basically, it's like they stats overinflated because they ain't play nobody.
But really, nobody hasn't played anybody. Really, only person that played somebody of significance is Texas, right? And Florida State. That's it in the top five.
Yeah, that's the sad part
Florida
about it.
State played LSU,
I'm not gonna lie,
and Florida State played Tennessee.
this non-conference scheduling this year has been very underwhelming.
Florida State should be the number one school in the nation right now because they beat LSU and they
I
beat
mean,
Tennessee.
I mean,
Two SEC teams.
you said who? No, no. I mean, no. Florida State hasn't beat two SEC teams. They beat Clemson.
It was Clemson,
Yeah, Florida State. I'm a Florida State fan. I know they beat what you call it?
LSU,
They
LSU.
beat LSU, Boston College, Clemson.
Oh, Clemson. That's what it was. Clemson. Okay, cool. So who beat Florida? Who beat Tennessee?
Florida.
My bad. My bad. There is Florida, not Florida State. Okay, I knew it was a
Yeah,
Florida team to
Florida.
beat Tennessee. Yeah,
Florida
the
beat
University
Tennessee.
of Florida, UF. Right there, you go. Okay, I apologize. It was Florida to beat Tennessee, but
Yeah,
Florida State still beat two high caliber teams with LSU and Clemson.
Clemson wasn't ranked when they beat them.
I know because they lost to North Carolina, right?
Yeah, they lost to Duke.
I mean Duke. Yeah, Duke, not North Carolina. They lost to Duke. Yeah. But Clemson and Florida State are ACC rivalries, right?
They are. Yeah, and it was at Florida. It was at Florida State. I guess you want to say it was at Clemson. So
Right,
yeah, they
at
almost lost
Clemson,
that
yeah.
game. They almost lost
Well,
that game.
almost on the count of horseshoes. That's it. Almost only counting horseshoes. But nevertheless,
Sure, they
they
almost
won.
lost to Boston College.
I know that's the game they almost really lost to Boston College. They won that in overtime. Boston College was on their heels. You know, they was on their top of their helmet. I thought Boston College was going to beat them at first. But I don't think Florida State's going to hold up. Something tells me Florida State is going to lose one or two games. And they will drop out of the playoff race. But Texas, only thing they got to do right now is beat Oklahoma, right? That's the only other tough team they will have to play. I don't think Texas got no other tough teams on their schedule. Because Kansas State, you know, they don't look for real. And then Georgia still have to play Alabama. But I don't think Alabama, I think Georgia will crush Alabama. And USC still have to play Oregon because I don't think Utah is going to be significant enough for USC anymore. Because that was the monkey they had to get off their back was Utah. Because Utah was the only team they didn't beat in the regular season. Utah beat them twice.
Mm-hmm.
Because Utah is the one that knocked them out of the playoffs because the USC was headed to the playoffs. And Utah split their helmet.
Oh dang. Las
And
Vegas
Michigan's going to
Aces
have to play
made it to
Ohio
the
State.
Las Vegas Aces made it to the WNBA finals again.
Is Candace Parker still playing with them?
Yeah.
So who are they going to play?
I don't know who they're playing yet. I just know
How
that
long has Candace Parker been in the league? She's been in the league like for 20 years.
yeah, she'll be in the league in a minute. I'm just uh I'm just I just know that I'll be watching because I want to see Asia Wilson. Whew, that's a fine sister there.
Mm. Yeah, she the one that got pregnant, right?
No, she's not pregnant.
Well, who was the sister that got pregnant and was trying to put her out the league, and she fought
uh,
against it?
I
I
don't
think she
know.
played for. I think she played for Las Vegas.
I
Light
don't
skin,
know.
light skin too. Yeah, light
Uh,
skin shit.
I don't think it's Asia Wilson.
Well, how old is Asia Wilson? She's a young girl.
No. Asia Wilson a bit older. Asia Wilson like in her mid 20s, I think. Like I mean late 20s.
Yeah, this chick is about her late 20s, early. Yeah, about her late 20s too. She got pregnant, and then they traded her from some
Yeah.
team. I think she was with the Indiana Fever.
Nah,
She
Asia
was,
Wilson still play. Nah, Asia Wilson still play for the Aces.
okay, but I'm
She's
saying that
27.
no, but I'm saying that this chick played with the Indiana Fever first, and then she had problems with the team because she got pregnant. And then I think she tried to sue the WNBA or something. I don't know. There's some kind of stuff going on.
What's it?
And then
Is
she
it
got
Dar?
traded to
Is it
Las
Darcy?
Vegas.
Is it Darcy? Is it Darcy Hamby?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I really don't know her name like that, but I just know of the situation. And she was a nice, pretty girl too. You know, she didn't look like one of the most strong looking butches.
Yeah, her
She looked
name
like
is.
a nice, strong female.
I think her name is Darcia Hamby. She
She played with the Las Vegas right now, right?
no. I don't think she played for Las Vegas right now. I mean, last I see, she played for the LA Spark.
Oh, that's who it is. Yeah, you're right. That's who it is. L.A. Sparks. My bad. That's how I got up on her because she went to the
Yeah,
Sparks. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, she
but
played with the L.A. Sparks man. Yeah,
she fine too though.
that's what I said. She's fine, soft sister. She look like the old butch, mean
Yeah,
ass
she like
bitches. That's good.
yeah she light skin.
Yeah, nice big shit. Yeah, that's what it is. This is
Yeah,
Sparks, you right? Because that's what got my attention because she came to the Sparks and I'm like, who is this chick? And then I read her backstory and I was like, oh, okay.
yeah, she look good.
Yeah, the Sparks don't mind you having kids. A lot of them girls on the Sparks got kids, so they real. That's it, right? They real weird. They're heterosexual. Never said like that. Yeah. So the Sparks even make the playoffs?
So
'Cause I
what?
didn't really hear much about the Sparks. I said, did the Sparks make the playoffs this year? Because I didn't really hear much about the Sparks. They haven't really been really that good since Candace Parker left. To be honest with you, I was kind of curious on what the Sparks do. I know it's a couple of people I follow on Instagram. They keep up with that stuff. I really don't. So who won? Did Las Vegas win the championship last year?
So who?
Did Las Vegas win the championship last year?
They did.
I'm asking you that. That's what I'm asking. I'm,
Yeah.
I'm
Las
asking you
Vegas
that.
Aces
Now.
won the ring.
Yeah.
Oh,
Did they?
my bad. Yeah. Las Vegas Aces won the ring last year.
So that means Candace Parker got back-to-back championships for two different teams.
No, no. Hold on. No, she didn't because Candace Parker wasn't on the team last year.
Oh, she just got there this year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because she won the ring. She won the
With
ring 2 years
Chicago.
ago with. She won the ring 2 years ago with Chicago Sky.
Right. And then I think she won one with the Sparks.
Yeah, well, yeah, she won with the Sparks years ago.
Yeah, years ago. Yeah.
That's
So she
when
got two
she
teams.
was. Yeah, that's when she was the best player in the league, best player in the WNBA at that time.
Yep.
and then and then I think she took some time off, then came back and is gonna play for the start playing for the Aces. So she been playing here, and helping out. She been helping out Asia Wilson, who, my opinion, should have won MVP this year.
So who won MVP?
That white girl from Liberty,
I don't even know her
like
name. So.
something Stewart, something I forgot it, something Stewart. So she's good,
Okay.
but yeah, I don't think she should have won it. I think it should have been Asia Wilson.
Now the last person that won anything from the Liberty is Lisa Lobo. Right?
You funny. That's a while ago.
She's the last significant player for the Liberty, New York Liberty. Well, New York got to get something, man. We can't just not give New York something to hold on to. So we give them MVP of
Man,
the WNBA.
listen, man. They ain't trying to hear that. They probably don't even know the WNBA playing right now.
And New York is looking for anything, especially after the Yankees have stumped up the joint. The Yankees in the mix.
Hmm. Yeah, my Braves doing real good.
Oh, they're the best team in baseball. Shoot. You
Shoot,
talking about the
man.
Braves? They're the best team in
My
baseball.
Braves, boy. That boy Ronald Acuna better get that
Yeah,
MVP this year. I
yeah,
know
he's gonna get that. Yeah, he's gonna get that.
he better get the MVP. 40 and 70. Woo!
Yeah, he's gonna get that.
Elites.
Um,
That boy
the
is
Braves that
elite.
played the Dodgers like a week ago, right? They had a series against the Dodgers, and man, they
Hmm.
whipped the Dodgers upside the head, man. I think Dodgers won one game in a 4-game series.
Oh shoot, the Braves have played the Nationals tonight.
Oh yeah, they secured the best record in baseball. I seen it already. They're gonna have home field advantage throughout the playoffs,
Hmm.
so they're gonna be all right. Them damn Braves. But I seen the story before. I seen the Braves have the best record in
Man,
baseball.
this
They get
this
eliminated.
dude this dude Ronald Acuna got 72 stolen bases. My goodness.
Well, I mean that's a lot, but it ain't nothing like Ricky Henderson, 100 or something stolen bases. Vince Coleman, remember those guys?
Hmm.
Ricky Henderson, Vince Coleman, Tim Raines.
Yep.
Shoot, them dudes all got like over 100 stolen bases in the season.
Elite, man.
And yeah, that's just an instant speed, right? They say with Ricky Henderson, if you walk Ricky Henderson, you just gave him a free triple. That's what they used to say, my God. They said you better just pitch to Ricky Henderson. Because if you walk him, that's a free triple. Because he's going to steal first and third. I mean, he's going to steal second and third. That's crazy when you can affect the game that way, right?
Hmm.
I think Deion Sanders had a lot of stolen bases too. Didn't Deion Sanders go like 40 for 40?
Yep. He did steal a lot of bases.
The 40-40 club?
He stole a lot of bases. Yeah, that boy, that Dion can fly.
Yeah, he can fly. Shit.
Shoot, that's the
Here's
same
another
thing.
one. If you walk him, you give him up a free triple.
This is why basically this is why I'm gonna tell my son, play a sport, play baseball, dog. Because if you can steal a base, bro, you gonna be a man. You gonna get paid a lot of money, bro. Just to steal a
Heck
base.
yeah. Because you can affect the game so many ways.
Hmm.
Because the pitcher got to worry about you. Now he loses concentration on throwing the strikes, and now you give the hitter an advantage. You know. So yeah, you're right. Yeah. A lot of people that was able to steal bases that disrupted the game on all levels. You got the Willie McGee's, the Jose Canseco's. Um, what's that other boy name for? McCutcheon, even Barry Bonds. Remember, Barry Bonds was a base stealer.
Yeah, when he was younger.
Yeah, when he was younger, yeah. He
Yeah,
was a
when he played
base
for the
stealer.
yeah, when he played for the
Pirate.
Pirates. Pirates.
Yeah. The Giants, he was too big to steal a base. He was full of steroids.
Yeah, man. He was
He
too
was that
big,
big
man.
ass head. Hey, Barry Bonds had that big ass head. Like, how do your head grow? When was the last time you seen a man head grow? You can understand you can buff up everywhere else, right? Because you use resistant training. So you can buff up every part of your body, your legs, your arms, your chest, your abdomen, your neck, but how your shoulders. But how do you buff your head? Think about that, Murkoff.
I don't
How
know,
do you
man.
buff your head, man?
And then he went bald quickly too and everything.
There's no way you can buff your head up. There's no muscles in your head like that. So they knew that dude was juiced up. He was on juice big time.
They could never catch him.
He never catch it. But there's just no way, just from the physical observance of this man's anatomical structure, leads you to no other point but he's juiced.
Man, because if you see how he looked when he played for the Pirates compared
Yep,
to when he played for the Giants, it's night and
yep.
day, man.
Night and day. The man was skinny playing for the Pirates. But see, this
Yep.
is the thing that I dispute, Murph. I dispute this right here. If you look at Barry Bonds' numbers as a Pittsburgh Pirate, it still warrants him an invite to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Just the Pirates number alone. We're not going to even add the Giants number to it. We can leave all of his record-setting, record-breaking numbers as a San Francisco Giant and just go with the Pittsburgh Pirates numbers, and he still makes Hall of Fame. But they won't give it to him. That's what I disagree on, Murdoch. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. That's what I disagree on right there. Because if they had any kind of dichotomy on voting him in the Hall of Fame based on the allegations that was hurled against him, then use the part of his career where there was no suspicion that he partaked in any legal activity or performance enhancing drug. And that was with the Pittsburgh Pirates. And then go from there. I remember when he had that team with Andy Van Dyke and Bonita. Was it Juan Benito or something like that? Was that his name?
I don't
The
know.
guy they had to pay like for like 20 years.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking
And
about. I know you're
it,
talking about.
I think he won a World Series with the Florida Marlins. What is that dude name? I know it's all with a B. Not Batista, but is it Batista? No, Bonito. Juan Bonito, right?
I thought it was. I thought it was
I think
Juan.
that's his name. Juan Bonito, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that guy right there. So they had a real good team when he was with the Pittsburgh Pirates, but they just couldn't win. They could not get out of the NLCS, the National League Championship Series. And then when he got to the Giants, that was another good team. When he was paired up with Jeff Kent, they couldn't win. They got to the World Series, but they couldn't win the World Series.
Nah,
So it just looked
you were right the first time. Dex, it was I think it was Juan Bautista.
a Juan Batista. Okay, gotcha. No. It was Bonita. Bonita. No, not Juan Batista.
What's it?
I know Juan Batista. I know that's the name, but that's not the name that I really was looking for.
I
It's
got you.
Benny Bonita or something. It's Bonita. It's Bonnita. Bonilla. Damn, I think. What was that dude name, man? Not
Yeah, it
Batista.
was
Not
Juan.
Juan
It was
Batista.
Juan. It was Juan Bonilla.
Bonilla. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Bonilla.
he was Puerto Rican, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow, I didn't know he went to Florida State.
Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. What is this? Can anybody hear me? Would you please let me know because I'm looking at the chat. Microphone. Mic check, mic check. What is this? One, anybody out there that can hear me, please tap into the chat. We can hear you so I can continue. For all you night riders out there, rolling with Flight Sports TV, tap in. Let me know that y'all okay out there. Are you first responders? Are you civil workers? Travelers? Or just sitting at the crib getting ready for the weekend? Can you hear me out there? I need a little feedback. Say. Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. Can y'all hear me? Need somebody to tap in. You can hear me so I can continue, or I'm going to have to shut it down. Testing 1 2 1 2. What is this?